It's game 32. That's right. We're halfway through the inaugural 2021 Sioux Falls Sunfish season. Game 32 tonight. After tonight, the records reset and you get a fresh slate. The Western Nebraska Pioneers and Souris Valley Saberdogs have already taken the first half Clark and Lewis divisions, respectively. And so it's just game 32 for the Sioux Falls Sunfish and the Spearfish Sasquatch from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Hello, fans. David Coyer bringing you all the action of tonight's game on the Sioux Falls Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. Live from Karras Park, home of Ronken Field on the campus of Augustana University here in Sioux Falls. The Sunfish and the Sasquatch are in their third game of this three-game series, in which the Sasquatch have already taken the series, winning 2 games. They're looking for the sweep tonight after a long 19-14 victory last night over the Sunfish. The Sunfish looking just to take 1. Again, this game not meaning much. The records reset tomorrow, and then it's the battle for the second half division crown in the Clark division. Both these teams play in the Clark division of the Expedition League. Even though the Sunfish have seen a couple teams from the Lewis division, the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks and Souris Valley Saberdogs to be specific. In fact, the Sunfish, a surprise to them and, well, a surprise to their opponent, the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks, play each other next week. It was supposed to be Sunfish versus the Sasquatch up in Spearfish next, let's see, that was next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Instead, it's a Monday-Tuesday series against the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks out of Grand Forks, Tuesday being a doubleheader. That news just dropping today. But tonight, it's the Sunfish and the Sasquatch in Game 3, and Ryan Bachman leads it off for the third straight game for Spearfish. He's followed by Johnny McHenry and Ben Parker. It's Andrew Garcia on the mound for the Sunfish. He kicks and delivers. A 90-mile-an-hour fastball misses inside, and it's 6:38, the latest start we've had in this series. But 6:38 start time here at Karras Park in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It's a beautiful day, the nicest one of the series. Not a cloud in the sky as Bachman skies this one down the right field line. Coming over is Thompson. It carried just a bit too much. Thompson lost sight of where he was. He thought he was a lot closer to the bullpen fence than he actually was. And so it's just a long foul ball for Bachman, who is playing and starting in his third game this series. He's got the count 1-1 on Andrew Garcia. Charles McAdoo, Seth Surratt, Nicky Winterstein, a 4-5-6, followed by Hayden Driggs, Jacob Sanchez, and Gage Ninnis. Very familiar lineup the Sunfish facing tonight. And Andrew Garcia deals against the Sasquatch for the first time this season. He gets a 91-mile-an-hour fastball at the knees of Bachman. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Declan Beers is back out in the outfield. He's playing left tonight. Tanner Wilson in center, Gannon Thompson in right. Here's the 1-2. Curveball just misses in. On the left side of the infield, it's Norris McClure and Benito Garcia. On the right, Jonathan Brandon at second, Seth Hoffpower at first. And it's Will Olson calling the signs behind the plate. The 2-2 curveball misses in again. It's now a full count. Garcia, in his 6th start, has a 3-1 record on the season, the winningest pitcher in Sunfish history. Here's the payoff. Fastball rolled over down the third base line. That's foul. 3.03 ERA, 26 2/3 innings pitched. He's struck out 31, walked 18, and has only allowed 18 hits. His last appearance was against the Pier Trappers on the 24th. The payoff again fouled to the back netting. He went 6 innings of 3-run baseball, allowed just 4 hits, walked 5, struck out 8 for the second straight time. 3 times this season has Garcia struck out 8 or more. He's tied for the team high with 9 in one game. And a slider misses low, and he walks the leadoff man, Bachman. Johnny McHenry is playing shortstop tonight after 2 straight games at second. Theo Hardy has the night off for the Sasquatch. And McHenry, in last night's marathon of a game, went 3 for 4 with 4 runs, had a solo home run and 2 walks. He's brushed back by a fastball in. The Sunfish wearing their black, gray, white combination. The black hats with the orange and teal SF with the teal brims. Gray jerseys, teal right arm, orange left arm, orange numbers on the back and under the left breast up front. Curveball in the dirt. Olsen fires down. Bartnito Garcia with the tag. He got him. A high throw brought down by Garcia, and they get Ryan Bachman on the bases. A nice throw by Will Olsen, who had to pull a curveball out of the dirt and fire it down, and the bases are cleared with 1 away now. 2-0 count to Johnny McHenry. White pants with the black trim for the Sunfish. Here's the 2-0. Fastball right down the middle for a strike. The Sasquatch wearing baby blue jerseys with, I'd say, dark blue numbering. Their Sasquatch logo on the left arm sleeve. The 2-1, a fastball in. It's now a 2-2 count. Gray pants, black trim down the side. It says Sasquatch across the chest. Two balls, 2 strikes from Garcia to McHenry, who's batting .344 on the season. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed. A breaking ball in the dirt. The tag misses from Olsen. He lobs it down to Hoffbauer for out number 2. Strikeout number 1 for Andrew Garcia in this first inning of play. Ben Parker, who had a pinch hit in game 1, did not start. Wipes his hands in the right-handed batter's box. Saw it last night where he almost went down and did a push-up. Tonight he just goes down to a knee and wipes his hand in the batter's box. Does it before every at-bat, it seems. The first pitch from Garcia. Curveball misses in. It's 1 ball, no strikes. But Parker, starting last night and now getting the nod again tonight, went 3 for 6, scoring all 3 times. Fastball hits the outside. It's 1-1. But he's batting .400 on the season out of Whitman University. 8 doubles, 4 triples, 33 RBIs. Curveball low makes it 2-1. And the Sunfish just couldn't score in the middle innings. It was a 6-6 ball game early before Sunfish pitching, well, allowed Spearfish to score quite a few times in those middle innings. A curveball misses in. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. 3, 4, 5, and 6th innings for the Sasquatch. They scored in all of those. The 3-1, fastball away, walks him. 2-out runner aboard for Andrew Garcia. Last time it didn't bother him. Will Olsen just threw him out at second. But it's that dreaded 6th inning for the Sunfish. They allowed 8 runs in the 6th inning last night, 2 runs the night before, and then last week in the 11-1 loss against the Pier Trappers, well, they allowed 8 runs again. A fastball is poked high and deep into center field. Tanner Wilson drifting back, makes the catch off the bat of Charles McAdoo for out number 3. 2 walks issued that inning, but a caught stealing Ryan Bachman, a strikeout Johnny McHenry, and Ben Parker is left stranded on the fly out by Charles McAdoo. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base. The Sasquatch are scoreless. We'll see what the Sunfish can do as they lead off the bottom of the 1st inning. Jonathan Brandon, Declan Beers, and Jesus Lee Cohn, the 1-2-3 to lead us off in the bottom of the first inning for the Sunfish. They held the Sasquatch scoreless in the top half of this inning. It's Will Olson, Norris McClure, and Zeph Hoffbauer in the 4-5-6. Gannon Thompson, Tanner Wilson, Benito Garcia rounding out the lineup. A fastball misses low and in from Sawyer Rowland. Rowland from Leonard, North Dakota, has a 7.66 ERA through 6 starts. Brandon fouls one to the back left backstop. It's an even 1-1 count. Through 27 innings pitched, he's got 20 walks, 18 strikeouts. And he's facing off against Jonathan Brandon, who's been a hot bat as of late. A ground ball down the third baseline is just foul. Rowland has allowed 25 runs, only 23 of them earned through his starts. J-Bo batting .232 coming into this game, takes a fastball just high. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jonathan hasn't played since Friday night's loss where he went 0 for 4. Check swing. Did he go? No, he didn't. George Tyree appealing to Anthony Atkinson. Tyree was in the field last night. Atkinson behind the plate. They've swapped places. Tyree now calling the balls and strikes tonight. It's a full count to Jonathan Brandon. Here's the payoff. Curveball gets him looking on the inside corner. A big punch out by Tyree. And it's a first strikeout from Sawyer Rowland to Jonathan Brandon, and that brings up Declan Beers. This is the first time that Declan has gotten an at-bat against the Spearfish Sasquatch. His last appearance came in Saturday's 8-4 victory over the Hastings Sodbusters. Declan exited that game early. He takes a fastball at the knees for a strike. Beers took a curveball off the plate, came up underneath his catcher's mask, and, well, hit him right on the Adam's apple. He said he wasn't able to breathe for a few seconds at least. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball misses away. And, well, actually, for the past couple days, I kid you not, this is the best way I can describe it. He sounds like he has smoked a pack of cigarettes for the past 35 years. Fastball misses low and outside. It's 2-1. And I think the reason he's just had the past few days off, just time to heal. Obviously, you never want to take a ball straight to the neck. You could even see the laces imprint on the neck. A good take, but a fastball hits the outside corner. It's now a 2-2 count. Beers batting .313 on the season through 17 games. Has a pair of doubles. Grounds one to the left side. Johnny McHenry charging. Fields it. Fires in time for out number 2. So Johnny McHenry gets his first ball at short of the series. Jesus Lee Cohn writes in the dirt with the handle of his bat. Taps Tyree's shin guard. Taps Hayden Driggs' shin guard as well, his normal routine in his first at-bat. It's Seth Surratt, Ben Parker, and Gage Ninnis from left to right in the outfield. Charles McAdoo at third with Johnny McHenry at short. Here's the first pitch to Lee Cohn. He fouls it out of play. Ryan Bachman and Jacob Sanchez at second and first respectively, with Hayden Driggs behind the plate calling the signs for Sawyer Rowland. Lee Cohn last night had his second triple of the season. He now is tied for the lead on the team. He takes a strike at the knees. The big man went 2 for 3 with a double and a triple last night. Fouls one to the back netting, staying alive off the end of the bat. From his last appearance on Sunday against the Sodbusters, and then last night's 2 extra base hit game, his slugging percentage went from a .397 to a .455. He's now at a .303 batting average. Takes a breaking ball low and away in the dirt. It's now 1 ball, 2 strikes as the hat fell off of Roland. In the top of the first inning, there was a breeze coming in from left field. Now the flag's just moving a little bit, getting a little bit of wind, but nothing that'll drive the ball anywhere. Here's the 1-2. Pulled down the left field line. That's going to fall for a base hit. Lee Cohn's going to take a hard round around first. He's not going to test the arm of Surrett. And a 2-out single on the hanging curveball left there by Roland. It's a runner on first with 2 outs for Will Olson, the catcher, the Augustana boy. He played last night, and I talked to him after the game. And while I was really confused because Will Olson was the last out of the game last night. And I was just a bit confused because he literally took the first pitch after Kenneth Dutka's grand slam, and he thought that he pulled it and he had been looking for it. Instead, he actually soft-lined it over to first for out number 3, and I was watching him. He had no idea what was going on, so he takes a breaking ball low. It's 2 balls, no strikes. And I was still coming down after getting really excited for Dutka's grand slam. And by the time I had finished writing home run in my scorebook, I looked up and, well, I had no idea what was going on. There goes Lee Cohn right before the pitch. The throw down by Driggs misses high. Lee Cohn has a stolen base here in the first inning. That's his 4th of the season. No one ever expects Lee Cohn to steal. Well, except him. And at this point, it seems like the Sunfish might know it all the time, too, because he's been doing it a bit more lately. It's 2 balls and 1 strike to Will Olson. Takes a breaking ball in. It's now 3-1. 69 on the radar on that curveball. Roland's fastball has been topping out around 85, 86. Here's the 3-1. Fastball misses low and away. Another walk. Or excuse me, not another walk. Lee Cohn singled. Usually the Sunfish get a 2-out walk. Instead, Lee Cohn pulled that one down the left field line. And now there's 2 runners on for Norris McClure. Yesterday, the Sunfish were dealing with a pair of lefty pitchers to kick things off, which I think is a possibility as to why they were struggling. They haven't been doing well against lefties all season. McClure pops one up to Jacob Sanchez, who tosses it over to a running Roland. The foot race is won by Roland, as one was hit straight into the ground, popped right back up into the glove of Sanchez, who was drifting to his right. So a 3-1 putout leaves 2 left on base. No runs cross off, 1 hit, no errors. We're scoreless after 1 when we return on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. Seth Surratt, Nicky Winterstein, and Hayden Driggs will lead off the second inning for the Spearfish Sasquatch. Andrew Garcia is always quick on the mound, and, well, he made quick work in that first inning. He walked two, got rid of him just as quickly as a fastball misses a bit high. Surratt last night 0 for 5 with a walk and a strikeout. He does have an RBI because, well, he walked in a run, and as he pulls one down the right first base line, it bounces foul. Rolls all the way down to the Sunfish bullpen down the right field line. That foul ball is presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it. Keg Chicken. If you're in the Sioux Falls area, it's a delicious treat. I would know. Here's the 1-1. Fastball away. Excuse me, that was actually a breaking ball. A bit slower on the radar. Surratt, .338 on the season after last night's performance. This time, 90 miles an hour fastball just misses the outside corner. It's now 3 balls, 1 strike. 2 for 9 in this series. He's played in both games. He takes a fastball this time down the left field line, but that's hooking out of play. 88 degrees and, well, my phone said mostly sunny, but in all honesty, not seeing any clouds in the sky. We're going to write this one down as sunny, as one is lined into left field. That falls just in front of Declan Beers. It's going to be a base hit for Seth Surratt. A nice line drive off the bat. He barreled that one up and pulled it into left field. Declan Beers hasn't appeared in the outfield in quite a bit. Most of the time he rotates at catcher or gets the designated hitter position. Surratt on first for Nicky Winterstein, the lefty. Takes a fastball high and outside. Winterstein was the designated hitter last night. He's batting .325 on the season for this red-hot Sasquatch team. 3 for 3 last night with 2 runs and 2 walks. Pickoff attempt, no tag by Hoffpower at first. In fact, the Spearfish Sasquatch, well, they're definitely one of the best hitting teams in the Expedition League. They're .309 batting average, second only to the Sewers Valley Saber Dogs. Pickoff attempt at first. This time the tag made, but no call by Atkinson, the field umpire, and the tag by Hoffpower just a bit late. In fact, he tagged him about halfway up the leg. Still 1 ball, no strike to Winterstein. Garcia checks over at first before ball's pulled into right field. That's going to be a base hit. Coming up with it is Thompson. He fires it in. It's cut off by Benito Garcia on its way to third, and so back-to-back singles to kick off the second inning for the Sasquatch. It's Hayden Driggs behind the plate, but he's hitting now. This is the first time that we have not seen Chandler Eibach calling the signs for the Spearfish Sasquatch. Driggs was the designated hitter the other night. But on this Thursday, July 1st, he's catching. Giving Eibach the night off. Curveball is swung on and missed. That was in the dirt. No outs. Runners on first and second for Driggs, who's batting .304. Never have I seen this season this many 300 batting averages. Well, A, in a lineup. B, this low in a lineup. Well, then again, playing against the Pier Trappers 12 times. The Trappers and the Sunfish, 2 of the lowest batting averages in the Expedition League. The Sunfish, they've become a bit more middle of the pack with theirs. Here's the 0-1. It bounces away from Olsen. He picks it up, rolling up the first base line, fires it to second. The sweeping tag from Garcia. Not in time as Winterstein's able to keep his hand on. He almost overslid it. We've seen that a couple times by the Sasquatch this series. He's able to keep that hand on second, and the double steal on the pass ball puts 2 runners in scoring position with no outs here in the second inning. A 1-1 count to Driggs. Here's the pitch from Garcia. Fastball foul down the right field line, hooking out of play. Garcia, who's usually a strikeout pitcher, along with starter Mitch Stone. He's only got one on the day today. He's usually a bit quicker with his work as well. Once he's gotten to the stretch, he slowed down quite a bit. He had to step off there to ask for the signs again from Olsen. Here he sets, checks over at third before throwing. Fastball high. Beautiful Thursday evening for baseball. A decent crowd here at Karras Park with some Sunfish faithful. This is the first series in recent memory, at least, where there hasn't been that too many visitor fans. Curveball misses in the dirt. It's a full count now. The Sodbusters had a nice traveling party, as did the Pure Trappers. Saber Dogs were one of the quieter visiting teams. Of course, Minot a bit more of a travel. Here's the payoff from Garcia. Check swing on the tag. There hasn't been an appeal yet, and home plate umpire was shaking his head originally, George Tyree, at Will Olsen before finally going out to Atkinson, who says he did not go. No outs, and now the bases are loaded on the walk to Driggs, and it's Jacob Sanchez, who started Tuesday night's game, went 1 for 3 before pinch hitting last night, going 1 for 2 with an RBI. He's got the all-orange helmet on. Still scoreless here in the top of the second, but with no outs, the bases loaded. That could change quickly. Curveball hits the inside part of the plate. It's no balls, 1 strike. 205 batting average for Sanchez this season. He played first base before moving to catcher after Ibach was pinch hit for on Friday. When he pinch hit yesterday, he was out in right field. This one poked to JT Mix, or Jonathan Brandon at second, excuse me. That's not JT Mix. Mix has been playing at second the past 2 games. Tonight it's Jonathan Brandon. And from a distance, well, they look fairly similar, but standing next to each other, Brandon's got a few inches on Mix. Either way, it's an L4, and it's Gage Ninnis, the 9-hitter for the Spearfish Sasquatch, up with the bases loaded and 1 out. Swings through a curveball, 75 on the radar from Andrew Garcia. Ninnis in just his 6th game this season. Half of his games have been against Sioux Falls. Last night he went 1 for 3, scoring 2 runs, had a walk and a strikeout. The 0-1, a changeup misses low. Tuesday night went 1 for 4 in the 5-4 Sasquatch victory. And the Sunfish have lost both games to the Sasquatch this series. Tuesday's coming all the way in the 9th inning after allowing 2 runs in the top of the 9th off of a pair of errors. A foul off the mask of home plate umpire George Tyree. Will Olsen immediately turned around to make sure he was okay. Anthony Atkinson coming in to talk to his partner. That's never fun, no matter who you are. Will Olsen will go out and talk to his pitcher just to make sure Mr. Tyree is okay. And while Andrew Garcia throws fairly fast, especially for this league, he's constantly hitting the 90s. There's not many pitchers in this Expedition League that we've seen do that. And Garcia, as late as probably the 4th or 5th inning, can still top out at 90. He's gotten up to 91. That fastball, I believe, if I read the radar correctly, was about 89. But then you take that off of a quick swing, a foul tip to the back, or straight to the face. Well, that's terrifying, to say the least. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ninnis with the bases loaded, 1 out. Garcia kicks and delivers. A curveball falls in, gets Ninnis looking for out number 2. That's strikeout number 2 for Garcia, his first in this top of the second inning. And after allowing the first 3 aboard, the next 2 have been retired by Garcia. We're back to the top of the order, Ryan Bachman, who walked in the first inning and has the opportunity to drive in 1 or 2 with a base hit, or even just drive in 1 with a walk. Garcia sets and delivers a fastball on the outside corner, hits for a strike. And last night, well, it was kind of a bunch of firsts. The 19-14 score totaled 33 runs, which is the highest total in a Sunfish game in history. Obviously, the short history of the 2021 season, a curveball misses low. The previous had been 31, and it wasn't until the Kenneth Dutka 9th inning 2-out grand slam in which the 33 was hit. And 32 hits as well. So that's an all-time high. The 1-1, 90 miles an hour on the outside corner for strike 2. 14 runs. To my memory, that's the second most runs scored in a game for the Sunfish. The most came with 19 in Monday's game against Fremont. Here's the 1-2 from Garcia. In the dirt, blocked by Olsen. The runner caught off first, looking for the throw. They got it. Hoffpower is running to second, trying to draw Surratt home. The throw home. Surratt went. Olsen makes the tag. He's called out. He ran straight into Tyree. And wow, that looks very similar to the Sioux Falls Sunfish oh crap play as Hayden Driggs was trying to walk to second. Surratt took a while before he took off for home, and the throw from Hoffpower got him going. So Andrew Garcia, after allowing the first 3 on, does not surrender a run, and we're still scoreless after the top of the second. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on for the Spearfish Sasquatch. And due up for your Sioux Falls Sunfish in the bottom of the second inning, Zeph Hoffpower, Gannon Thompson, and Tanner Wilson when we return. Zeph Hoffpower takes a pitch low and away as we kick off the bottom of the second inning. Andrew Garcia gets out unscathed after allowing the first 3 on. Hoffpower takes a bouncing ball in the dirt. It's 2 balls, no strikes to the Sunfish first baseman. Hoffpower batting .247. He was one of my 2 guests on the Fish Tank yesterday. He takes this one high to left field. Coming in is Seth Surratt. Calls off everybody. There was no one in his vicinity, but he makes the catch anyway. Just being sure, as Johnny McHenry was looking to come out. A quick first out here in the bottom of the second off the bat of Zeph Hoffpower. But Zeph and Jonathan Brandon, who are both in the lineup today. I plugged the Fish Tank episode yesterday. Neither of them were in the lineup. So tonight, they're both in the lineup. Gonna plug it again. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. The Fish Tank, the official podcast of the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Gannon Thompson takes a fastball high and in with one out here in the bottom of the second inning. Thompson, batting .271, came in to pitch his first time yesterday. Also joined me on the broadcast, the first player to do so this season, as a fastball misses in. He played against the Sasquatch on Tuesday, going 1 for 1 with 3 walks and 2 stolen bases. The 2-0 sails over his back on a curveball that slipped out of the hand of Sawyer Rowland, and it's 3 balls and no strikes to the big man. And while in his first 2 at-bats, he got to a 3-0. And then he would take a fastball right down the middle. We'll see what happens here. Well, no, that time it bounces in the dirt. Rowland spiked it. And a 4-pitch walk to Gannon Thompson draws the 1-out walk. That's walk number 2 issued by Rowland today. And a man is aboard with 1 away for Tanner Wilson. Wilson playing center field today. He's playing in his second game of this series. Last night went 1 for 3 with a run and a walk. He had a stolen base but was also caught stealing as well. He on the first pitch is drilled by a curveball. Wasn't long until the Sunfish drew a hit by pitch. It takes a skill to be, I think it takes skill to be hit as many times as the Sunfish have. That's hit batter number 54 on the season, and well, some of them, they've been a little more worse for wear. Zeph Hoffpower got a fastball to the left elbow against Fremont. Time is quickly called before Benito Garcia can see a pitch. And Zeph, you could see the laces in his arm. Carter Tibbetts took a high 80s fastball off the back the other day, and when we got home, I got to see it, and yeah, well, the laces were in there as well. Garcia was originally showing bunt before pulling back and taking a pitch low. So while it's almost comical how much the Sunfish have gotten hit, well, they're a little worse for wear for it, as it's never fun to be hit by a pitch, especially by some guys throwing some high fastballs. Garcia batting .233, went 1 for 4 last night. He grounds one to the left side. McHenry fires it over the third to get Thompson, and it just will be the lead runner retired as Thompson gets out on the 6-5 fielder's choice. Garcia reaches first. Tanner Wilson is safe at second. And we have 2 away as we're back to the top of the order with Jonathan Brandon. And a fair warning to those of you who have not listened to this week's episode of the Fish Tank but are planning to, around the, I think it's about 23 minutes and 15 seconds roughly mark, there's about a minute where the audio kind of speeds up a little bit or something happens, and went back and looked at it, didn't know what happened, so there's just a bit of an audio problem about halfway through. And to my knowledge, that's all it is, as Brandon fouls one to the back netting off the first pitch. That foul ball presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it, Keg Chicken. But otherwise, it's a very entertaining podcast. Walker Bullington's wife, Sam, listened to it today on her flight in. She's now here in Sioux Falls. She said she enjoyed it, and if Sam likes it, you should too. Here's the 0-1. Change up at the knees, hits for a strike. It's no balls, 2 strikes to J-Bo. He struck out looking his first time up. Has been struggling with the K as of recent. 4 in his last 2 games, 5 if you include today. And with 2 runners on, here's the 0-2. It bounces in the dirt, stopped by Driggs. The breeze has picked up slightly again, and just as I say it, it dies down. It was blowing a little bit out to right field, but again, nothing too powerful, worth writing home about. 1 ball, 2 strikes from Roland. He delivers a curveball low. Jabo against the Hastings Sodbusters on Friday. Took the first pitch he saw in the game, batting from the leadoff spot in the bottom of the first inning over the right field wall. It was just to the left of the 310 at the foul pole. Down the left field line again, it's 320, 395 out to center. Here's the 2-2, swung on and missed. Roland climbed the ladder with the fastball, and Jabo strikes out twice in this game. 2 are left stranded after a walk, a hit by a pitch, and a fielder's choice. No runs have crossed through 2 innings for either team. We remain scoreless from Karras Park. Andrew Garcia, who got out of a bases loaded situation in the top half of the second inning. Well, we're still at the top of the order as Ryan Bachman didn't get his full plate appearance after Seth Surratt was caught trying to swipe home after Hayden Driggs was, I don't know what he was doing. I think he just kind of lost track of the count, thought it was a walk as a fastball is fouled in and out of the glove of Will Olson for strike 1. Driggs, again, it's similar to the old crap play of the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Not going to go into details about that, give away the Sunfish secrets, but Sunfish fans have seen it twice this season. Here's the 0-1, drilled into right center field. Thompson giving chase as is Wilson. Thompson's the one who's going to get it as he was coming to his right. A nice run by the tall Thompson. He's got the long strides out there. Long legs, long strides. Was able to get there quickly. On the pop fly to right field for out number 1. It's Johnny McHenry who struck out swinging his first time up. Garcia quick with his windup, delivering a fastball away. 90 again. Here in the third inning, still has enough velocity to top out at 90. He has hit 91 today. Quick on the windup again. Fastball right down the middle, chopped over to Jonathan Brandon at second, plays it off the second hop, and over to Hoffbauer in time for out number 2. And you know, Garcia's quick windup doesn't give the batter really enough time to get comfortable themselves, and usually pitchers, they'll wait a long time, get in the heads of the batters, and that's why hitters will call time. And while Garcia doesn't even give them enough time to do that, the hitters barely have enough time to be like, wait, what's going on? Garcia deals right away. This time a curveball misses just low. He gets the ball back, and I even complimented him the last time he pitched against Pierre. It was quick innings. The fastball is popped up, shallow left field. Garcia drifting back. He's called off by Beers, who will make the catch for out number 3. A quick 3-up, 3-down inning via the quick windup by Andrew Garcia. The Sasquatch remains scoreless through 3. We head to the bottom of the third inning after this. It'll be Declan Beers to lead off the bottom of the third inning for the Sunfish, followed by Jesus Licone and Will Olson. Beers grounded out to short his first time up, his first at-bats since he took a curveball to the throat against Hastings. A bouncing ball into the glove of Hayden Driggs is stopped for ball one. Roland delivers a fastball that's just a bit low, 2 balls, no strikes. And Sawyer Roland, he's been pretty quick with his delivery as well. He's already on the mound ready, and he's winding and delivering similar to the speed of Andrew Garcia. This time a fastball is blown by Declan Beers, and it sounds like Roland might have some fans in the stands. I just heard someone say, come on, Sawyer, put it in there. So definitely some friends or family. A slow roller off the foot of Declan Beers is not a ground out as the camera would show. Beers did not take off running, and I think it hit him off his foot. Foul was called by George Tyree originally, and it's a 2-2 count. So Beers taking foul balls or curve balls anywhere. He's got the battle scars to show it. And here's the 2-2. Slow breaking ball, 70 on the radar. Hits away, and it's a full count now to Declan. The records reset tomorrow. It's game 32, night 32, as Beers sharply hits one into the gap in right center. That's going to fall and bounce up against the wall. Beers is rounding second, on his way to third. The throw in from Ninnis is cut off. The throw over to third, not in time. Beers slides hard into Charles McAdoo, takes his legs out. No hard feelings with a pat on the back from McAdoo, and a leadoff triple by Declan Beers gets us started in the bottom of the third inning. That's Beers' first triple of the season. And that's back-to-back nights with a three-bagger for the Sunfish. Jesus Licone had his second last night. That's triple number 8 for the Sioux Falls Sunfish this season. Beers joins the likes of Jeff Mejia, Will Olson, Tanner Wilson, Adonis Forte, and, well, this man, Jesus Licone. Jesus takes an 84-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle for strike one. Declan hadn't had an extra base hit in quite a while. That's his first one since the June 13th victory against the SaberDogs as Licone drops one into left center field. That's going to score Declan Beers easily, and the Sunfish are up 1-0. Jesus Licone, 2 for 2 with a pair of singles, this time an RBI, as Declan Beers scores after his leadoff triple. With no outs in the bottom of the third, the Sunfish take the first lead of the game. Back-to-back multi-hit nights for Jesus Licone. And it's Will Olson who walked the last time up. He takes a curveball in. A bit more velocity from Roland tonight. The last two starters for Spearfish, Hunter Runyon and Riley Moran, as a fastball is foul tipped by Olson. It's an even 1 count. They didn't have too much velocity on theirs. We're topping out roughly high 70s, maybe a bit of low 80s, as Anthony Atkinson is going to get a new ball. I don't know what that was about. Atkinson called time, was walking up to Roland and asked for the ball, didn't check anything. Again, with all the stuff going on in the MLB with the sticky stuff, the stuff that helps when the spin rate and gets a bit more velocity and movement on the ball. Hasn't been much of that at least I've witnessed here with the Sunfish. As a curveball misses low, it's 2 balls, 1 strike. Well, there hasn't been much about that, so I wonder if that was what Atkinson was doing. But here's the 2-1. Fastball away. Anyway, we're back to our regularly scheduled programming. I'm still a little shook by that time called by the field umpire. Either way, rolling behind after allowing a leadoff triple to Declan Beers and then a single to Jesus Licone, and it's a 1-0 ball game in favor of the Sunfish with no outs here in the bottom of the third. Will Olson skyrockets this one to left field and deep. There it is. Will Olson goes yard for a 2-run home run. It's now a 3-0 ball game here in the bottom of the third inning. That one was absolutely crushed. He turned on a fastball and took it all the way over the left field wall. That's his second home run here at Karras Park, and the Sunfish now lead by 3. The home run leader for the Sioux Falls Sunfish, Will Olson, smacks his 4th of the season. His second one here at Karras Park, his home park, when he plays for Augustana. Norris McClure takes an 84-mile-an-hour fastball for a strike. Wow, he just absolutely turned on that one, and that's a lot of Olson's home runs. They're just no doubters. This time, a breaking ball bounces in the dirt. It's 1-1 to McClure. He grounded out to first his first time up. Another member of the team who has multiple home runs as he sends this one into the Augustana parking lots. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's Kenneth Dutko, Will Olson, Norris McClure, Jonathan Brandon, and Gannon Thompson, who all have multiple home runs, as McClure lines this one in the gap in left center. He's rounding first, heading to second. The throw in from Surratt is cut off by Johnny McHenry, and a no-out double by Norris McClure puts him on second, and it's still 3-0. McClure now with a double. That's the second double of the, or actually third extra base hit of the inning. There has been no double. The Sunfish have now cycled in the first 4 batters. A triple by Declan Beers, a single by Jesus Licone, a home run by Will Olson, and a double by Norris McClure. Wow. It's been a heck of a bottom of the third for the Sunfish. Zeph Hoffpower fouls the first pitch to the backstop. It rolls all the way back and now is in fair play up the third base line. Hoffpower himself is going to go pick it up. I can't tell you how many times I've actually seen that just in my entire life of watching baseball. It's definitely happened before. I just can't remember actually witnessing it. Having, well, a cycle between 4 players, especially to lead off the inning. No outs here in the bottom of the third. The first 4 hitters have hit for the cycle between the 4 of them. A check swing inside. They're now going to appeal out to the field, and they said he went. There had been no call. And really, I guess that means that Tyree said no, he didn't go, but Hayden Driggs asked for the appeal, and Anthony Atkinson said yes, he did. So no balls, 2 strikes to Hoffpower. Norris McClure dancing around there at second base. Here's the 0-2. Hoffpower swings on one that goes all the way to the backstop. Driggs is going to stop going for it. It's now Charles McAdoo running down the third baseline, as that was right in front of the Sasquatch dugout, and Hoffpower on the drop third strike is going to make it over to first. Runners at the corners now as McClure advanced on the pitch that got away from Driggs, and it's Gannon Thompson with no outs. Runners at the corners. 5 hits for the Sioux Falls Sunfish, 4 of which have come from this inning. All 5 at-bats have led to runners getting on base in this inning. And now Sawyer Rowland will face Gannon Thompson. Thompson takes the first pitch high, but going behind the netting and out of play for strike 1. At foul ball presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it. Keg Chicken. McClure's double marks his second of the season. There goes off power. Pitched low. The throw goes all the way over to second. It's dropped by Ryan Bachman on the throw from Driggs. The throw was a bit high and to the right from our perspective up here in the press box. Driggs came down with it, but when he went to go make the tag, it looked like it slipped out of the glove, and Zeph Hoffbauer swipes second, so now the double play is out of question as there's two runners in scoring position with no outs for Thompson, who holds a 1-1 count against Sawyer Rowland. He lines this one or grounds it through the gap on the left side. McClure's going to score. Hoffbauer gets the stop sign, and another base hit for the Sunfish makes it a 4-run ball game here in the bottom of the third inning. Thompson is now 1 for 1 after walking in the second, and it's Tanner Wilson who on the first pitch to him in the second inning took a curveball in the back, and Hayden Driggs is going to come and have a mound visit with his pitcher. A whole different ball game than what was seen last night between the Sasquatch and the Sunfish. It was a lot of scoring and a lot of it early. 2 runs crossed in the first inning for Spearfish. 9 total between the two teams in the third. It was 6-5 after the third inning. Well, that's not correct because, in fact, it was 6-6 after the third inning as the Sunfish scored 1 in the second. And then 13 runs would cross as Thompson takes off on the first pitch. A bouncing pitch to stop slide by Gannon Thompson. He got away with it. Thompson pulled his leg back as he was sliding into second, avoided the tag by second baseman Ryan Bachman, who thought he had him, and while on the throw from Driggs, Thompson was a sitting duck. Instead, he gets in there, everyone's safe, and it's no outs with 2 runners in scoring position for Tanner Wilson, who takes strike number 2 at the knees. 4 straight hits, then a drop third strike got Hoffbauer, who's now at third on first, and a single by Thompson has gotten us to Tanner Wilson. He grounds one to short. Charging in is McHenry, who'll fire it across the field and over the head of Sanchez. Hoffbauer scores. Here comes Thompson. Wilson's on his way over to second, who slides in safely. And this time, an E6 by Johnny McHenry will score 2. And the Sunfish still have not had a hitter retired, and it's 6-0 in the bottom of the third.
Now batting number 10, the shortstop, Benito Garcia.
Benito Garcia steps up now with a runner all the way at second base. Everyone who has stepped up to the plate has reached, and the only one who has not scored is Tanner Wilson, who just reached second on an E6. Thompson scored all the way from second after his stolen base and single, as Garcia takes 82 just on the outside corner for a strike. For anyone who knows me, knows I'm from Milwaukee and care about Milwaukee sports deeply, the Milwaukee Brewers are leading the Pittsburgh Pirates in the top of the 5th, 2-0. I know it's not college baseball. The World Series ended yesterday as Garcia takes a fastball in for a strike. The NBA Eastern Conference Final is tonight. That's a bit later. So right now we're watching the Brewers on the MLB Network. Well, it's on to my right. I'm watching Sunfish baseball, as are you. Garcia down 0-2. Grounds one, a high chopper to third. McAdoo plays it, throws it over to first, took his time, and gets Garcia for out number 1. I say took his time, not saying that Johnny McHenry rushed, but he had to fire it over to first quickly, and Tanner Wilson, who's speedy, wouldn't have beaten it out, and that's why you got the error, as the throw just had sailed over Jacob Sanchez, who took a second before chasing after it, and Wilson got on second. We're to the top of the order, and the Sunfish are officially through their lineup at least once. The Sasquatch did this last night. That wasn't until the 8-run 6th inning. And, well, the Sunfish, as Jonathan Brandon takes a fastball low and away, they're at 6 right now in the 3rd inning. They're getting up there for most runs scored in 1 inning. I'll have to look back to Fremont on Monday because that's when it happened, and I forgot how many runs were scored. J-Bo swings through a fastball. It's a 1-1 count. In the 19-7 Sunfish win on Monday, 8 runs were scored in the 4th, which is the most that has crossed in a single inning for Sioux Falls. Tanner Wilson on second. Here's the 1-1 with 1 away. A curveball misses in the dirt. It's 2-1 from Sawyer Rowland. And Rowland, the most runs he's allowed in one game is 7 earned. If Wilson scores, it will not be an earned run as it was an E6. A grounder right past Rowland. And that goes past the glove of Bachman. It actually hit off of his glove, and here comes Wilson from second. A sharply hit grounder up the middle. Scores Wilson from second, and Jonathan Brandon reaches for the first time today. And they're going to give that a base hit. Rightfully so, and he's now 1 for 3 through 3 innings is Jonathan Brandon. It's a 7-0 ball game here at the bottom of the 3rd. There's going to be a mound visit, and that's all she wrote for Sawyer Rowland. Just 1 has been retired here in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and the Sunfish have scored 7. We'll see who's coming in for Spearfish right after this on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. Hayden Silty relieves Sawyer Rowland on the mound. Rowland could only make it through 2 1/3 innings. He's allowed 7 to cross here in the bottom of the 3rd. Silty will inherit Jonathan Brandon at first. He'll take off right away. A fastball right down the middle. The throw down gets Brandon stealing, and Jonathan Brandon is caught again for out number 2. Out of everyone on this Sunfish team, Jonathan Brandon, unfortunately, I think has been caught more times than anyone. That's the 7th time he's been caught stealing this season or picked off. And now Declan Beers is up with 2 outs as an 86-mile-an-hour fastball misses low and away. Beers led off the inning with a triple and would score quickly as Jesus Licon singled right after him. The first 4 got on via the cycle. This time a changeup misses outside. It's 2-1. And when I say the cycle, Beers tripled, Licon would single, Will Olson would home run, and Nelson McClure would double to kick off this inning. Ball misses low. It's 3 balls, 1 strike to Beers. Here's the 3-1. Beers skyrockets this one to right center field and deep. That's near the wall. There it is! Declan Beers with his first long ball of the season. He triples and homers in the same inning. It's now an 8-0 ball game as Hayden Silty, on a first batter he sees, gives up a home run. Wow! When's the last time Declan can say he did that, if ever? Tripled and home run. Well, let alone in the same game, let alone the same inning. A 2-out solo shot by Declan Beers brings up Jesus Licon. It's 8-0 Sunfish. Licon takes one off the bat to the back netting for strike 1. That foul presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it. Keg Chicken. Here's the 0-1 to Licon. He takes this one hard out of play over the right side. It's no balls, 2 strikes. So with Jonathan Brandon being retired on the caught stealing, Sawyer Rowland officially has gone 2 1/3 as Licon rolls over one, but it's fouled on the third base side. 2 1/3 innings pitched, 7 hits, 7 runs, only 6 of them earned. Tanner Wilson, the last one to cross, was not earned as he reached on the E6. 2 walks and 3 strikeouts for Rowland. And while in his first inning of work, Silty is allowed a solo home run. Licon grounds one hard to the left side. McHenry backhands it, fires it across the infield. And Sanchez is pulled off. A nice call by Anthony Atkinson. I wasn't sure if he was going to see it. I for sure saw it and was going to say something if Licon was called out, as Sanchez couldn't keep the toe on. The throw from deep in the hole by McHenry was just a bit short. Sanchez was pulled off. And I believe they're giving that as a hit to Jesus Licon. Has not been officially put on point streak, put up on the scoreboard. No error has been given. And they're giving that a single as that was deep in the hole for McHenry. Will Olson takes a curveball low. It gets away from Hayden Driggs. Licon stays at first. So 1 ball, no strikes to Will Olson. He pops this one high, shallow center field. Going back is McHenry. He's called off by Ben Parker, who makes the catch, and this nightmare inning for the Spearfish Sasquatch is over. 8 runs cross off 8 hits, 1 error, 1 left on base, 2 home runs in that inning off the bats of Will Olson, and Declan Beers gets his first home run and his first triple in the same inning. The Sunfish lead 8-0 after 3. 8 runs crossed in the bottom of the third inning for the Sunfish. It's 8-0 Sioux Falls as they go through 12 in that third inning. Leading off for the Sasquatch, it's Charles McAdoo, followed by Seth Surratt and Nicky Winterstein. 88 on the radar, misses low from Andrew Garcia in his fourth inning of work. He let the first 3 reach in the top of the second inning before retiring the next 2. And then, well, it was Seth Surratt who was caught trying to take home after a weird play by Hayden Driggs, who I think lost track of the count. Fastball high and in makes it 3-0 as Garcia's so quick on his windup, I missed that second pitch. McAdoo flew out to center field his first time up. Takes 90 right down the middle. But an absolute stellar bottom of the third inning for Sunfish offense as this one's poked into right field, line straight at Gannon Thompson for out number 1. Just off the end of the bat for McAdoo. If he barrels that one up just a bit more, that's more in the gap and a tougher play for Thompson to make. It's 1 away here in the fourth inning. Seth Surratt, who singled and again he was trying to take advantage of Driggs. I'm going to call it a misplay because I think he didn't know what was going on. 90-mile-an-hour fastball hits the lower outside corner to the lefty Surratt. He's down 0-1. And Surratt was just thrown out by Jonathan Brandon trying to go home. This time a changeup misses low. Actually bounces over the head of Will Olson too. Olson hit his 4th home run of the season. Kenneth Dutka had just tied him up for the lead with 3 last night with the grand slam. Olson takes the lead right back. The off-speed swung on and missed. Surratt, in fact, even giving a nod to Garcia. Things saying, oh, you got me on that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Garcia takes a breath, puts his glove up, winds and delivers. Fastball away. 92 on the radar gun. You think the later in a game you go, the lower your velocity is going to go, the slower it's going to come through. Nope. Garcia has been throwing 90s. There's 92 again. Gets Surratt looking at the knees. He's walking back to the Spearfish dugout. That's strikeout number 3 for Andrew Garcia. 92 miles an hour. Wow. Far and above the fastest velocity on a heater out of any Sunfish arm. And Garcia's in the 4th inning, and he's just climbing in the miles per hour. Nicky Winterstein takes a fastball low and away. And Garcia, known for wheeling and dealing on the mound for Sioux Falls this season, gets Winterstein to roll over one, but it's foul into the glove of Zeph Hoffpower. 1 ball, 1 strike. Garcia this season has only thrown less than 6 innings in an outing twice. His first appearance, 2 innings against Fremont. Another ground ball to Hoffpower. Backhands it, throws it to Garcia. The race to first is won by Andrew Garcia. And that's 3 up, 3 down again in the 4th inning. Garcia has retired 8 straight, dating back to the 2nd inning on the ground out to Zeph Hoffpower. It's still 8-0 as we head to the bottom half of the 4th inning from Karras Park. We're back on the Sioux Falls Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. Myself, David Coyer, and, well, back-to-back days, we have a guest up here in the press box as Norris McClure takes a fastball for a strike. But this time, it's not Gannon Thompson. No, we got Pete Weil. Pete Weil up here in the press box. Pete, how you doing?
How's it going, Dave? It's a pleasure being here with Davey Broadcasty at Karras Park, home of Ronken Field. Pleasure being here.
Dude, so Pete, you along with about half of the dugout has been asking me, can I be your color commentator? Can I be on the broadcast? And, well, today we know you're not going to be pitching, so I'm just like, well, sure, Pete, you can come up and talk, and especially since we had Gannon last night, and so it's like might as well have another pitcher as Norris McClure swings through one. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. So, Pete, you're from Georgia.
Yes, sir.
University of North Georgia, teammates with Jacob Lassier. What's it like? Did you two know that you both were going to be coming to Sioux Falls this summer at the same time?
Yes. One of our assistant coaches, Nick Palmer, knew that we were going to be here probably by October, maybe November, pretty early compared to some friends of mine or some teammates actually didn't even know that they were going to be here until the week prior to the season started. He's safe.
Norris McClure runs one out. Look at that. He's safe. You're calling it from up here.
Should have been safe.
Norris McClure runs one out on a ground ball to the right side. Ryan Bachman's throw not in time. An infield single for Norris McClure leads off this 4th inning. I wrote that in the wrong inning. That's right. We're in the 4th after that long 3rd inning. You can see you can see this in my scorebook. We go through the entire lineup, so then you're having to go into the 4th. So you did that. You make a little broadcaster's trick right there. You put the line right there. And so that's how you know. I just did it wrong.
I have faced that dilemma myself before.
Zeph Hoffpower takes a ball inside. And, well, Pete, do you want to do color commentary? I was letting Gannon kind of do it last night where we looked at some stuff and, he broke it down. I called what was happening. He sat there and he's like, okay, well, this is what I'm looking at right here.
Right.
You see Zeph, so pops one up. Shallow right field. Coming in is Ninnis. Going out is Bachman. Bachman's the one who's going to make the catch. Turns and looks over at first. But no throw. One out here in the 4th inning. So what'd you see on that pitch and the hit by Zeph?
Well, it looked like the pitcher just beat Zeph with the fastball there, got in under his hands, popped out shallow right. It was a good pitch, good spot to do that. I'd be looking for a ground ball here with one out, trying to get me out of this inning nice and quick, especially after that 3rd went on forever.
See, and you're more of a ground ball pitcher though, so you're trying to. So when it's a ground ball pitcher, what is your approach when you're trying to get those ground balls? As Gannon Thompson takes a curveball down.
Well, the approach of any pitcher should be to attack first and foremost. So attack and get ahead. You already have the advantage as a pitcher, just being out there on the field before you even throw a pitch anyway, statistically speaking.
Norris McClure takes off, and a ball down from Hayden Driggs bounces just to the first base side, backhanded by Ryan Bachman, but no tag. So Norris McClure has a stolen base.
So if you can get ahead, it makes that job of a hitter that much harder. 2-seamers down and in to righties, low and away to lefties. Trying to get something that they'll roll over or chop into the dirt for an easy double play.
So there we go. Well, now the double play's out of play. So
certainly out of order.
and Gannon's up 2-0. So well, he's searching for that fastball. He got it right there, but fouls it just out of play. And well, look at that body language by Gannon right there. You can tell he wanted that one.
Yeah, he wants that one back too. It's a 2-0 hack. Took a good 2-0 hack at it, just a little under.
He promised me another home run today.
Did he?
He did. I mean, he promises me. There we go. Easy for me to say. He promises me a home run about every game, and then after every game, I always say, "Hey, where was the home run?" He's like, "I know."
So what is he like? 2 for 18 or something like that?
For home runs.
How long has he been with us?
That's a good question. Well, we got it right here. He's in game 17 right now. So he's 2 for 16.
2 for 16. It's close.
For home run promises, at least, not on his actual batting average. But, so how long have you been playing baseball, Pete?
3-1 hack right here. Right here.
3-1 hack here, you're calling it? You're trying to be Gannon calling a home run?
Oh,
instead he fouls it into the glove of Hayden Driggs. It's now full count.
What was the question?
I said, how long have you been playing baseball?
Well, my dad got me started probably when I was 5-ish, somewhere in there. So, 16 years, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Were you a pitcher right off the bat? Like once you started being able to pitch in games?
Yeah. Well, when you're younger, you just kind of play everywhere. Like we've been asking kids out by the bullpen and whatnot. You play.
Well, there it is. The 3-2 taken high and deep to left center field. That's carrying. It's just in front of the warning track. Thompson's trotting into second. Norris McClure's going to score. And there's a double. You know, you were a pitch
that.
behind. You took the hack. He lined that one into the gap
Just gonna
in
keep
left
feeding the
center.
fastballs.
Yeah, right there. I mean, we're a fastball hitting team, the Sioux Falls Sunfish, and when you're hanging those over the plate, I mean, it was Will Olson's home run that it was just a fastball left out there, and he just absolutely. What was it? What did that look like
Ball
from the
was smacked.
dugout?
I was in the bullpen. That ball was
Okay.
smacked. That ball touched the moon and came back.
Yes,
I
it
don't
did.
even know if it's landed yet.
Now it's Tanner Wilson, who reached on an error his last time up, with one out and a runner on second.
Those kids in the bullpen, you ask them and they'll say, "Oh, I play short, I play left, and I pitch, or whatever. I catch, I play short, and I play first." Or
Oh yeah.
But it's probably around 11, 12, somewhere in there. You start to figure out if you're a PO or not, or you're going to dedicate your career to this one position, somewhere in there. But some guys like Kenneth Ducka can be very talented both ways. He's a very, very fun guy to watch pitch and hit.
Well, and you bring up Kenneth, and obviously, yeah, like you said, he's been on the mound a lot this season, and he's been doing it very well. And last night hit the first grand slam in Sioux Falls Sunfish history. So, you know, he's got it from both ways. But then last night, late in the game, you know, obviously it didn't go the Sunfish way. So there were a couple position players as Tanner Wilson shoots this one straight into center field. Ben Parker makes the catch, fires it in. Thompson was about a quarter to halfway to third base, but he gets back.
That country boy hits the ball hard every time.
Oh,
I'll tell you
every single time he makes contact
loud.
with that, it fires off the bat. It's
loud.
and then even like, you know, you watch him during batting practice, and they just you talk about Will Olson hitting balls to the moon during batting practice. Tanner just, I don't think any of those come down either.
No, he takes a country hack at him too. Just flick of the wrist.
Absolutely. But last night, Gannon Thompson making his pitching debut for the Sunfish.
Yes.
Norris McClure goes
He dealt.
6 up, 6 down. I
Dealt.
think it was 13 pitches, if I'm not mistaken.
No way.
Something like that. I think it was very low, as Walker Bullington was telling me, as a fastball hits to Benito Garcia. And then Dane Frazier, that's the one that surprised me. It was Dane Frazier. I didn't realize that he pitched, and he came in and he
chucks
had a cutter.
Yep.
Just a cutter that was coming across, and he was getting up there high 80s.
Yep.
And well, I mean, so you know, we got a bunch of POs on this team, another fastball hits, it's 0-2, but well, now it looks like we got some two-way guys, and I was talking to Norris before the game. He thinks that he might try and get a couple more innings this season.
Well, we're running out of guys. Potentially, some guys leaving early, some guys going down with injury or whatnot, but may have some position guys picking up some slack, picking up some innings. That's fine by me. If they can get the job done, they can get the job done. So.
Benito Garcia chases one high. That's strikeout number 1 for Silty. And one more crosses off of the double by Gannon Thompson, scoring Norris McClure. 1 run off 2 hits, no errors, 1 left on base. It's 9-0 Sunfish after 4. Pete, are you going to return for the next inning?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We'll return with Pete Weil after this. We're back here on the Sioux Falls Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. And, well, mothers know best, don't they, Pete? Your mom and my mom both texted us at the same time that they could not hear you on the broadcast.
Shout out Mama down in St. Croix.
And so we're going to...
Checking in.
We're going to definitely get you a bit closer to the mic. My
Yes.
voice
Hello,
carries.
everyone.
I'm a broadcaster, so I know how to make sure I talk clearly and loudly. As the first pitch from Andrew Garcia misses low to Hayden Driggs, who walked his first time up.
You know, I got an A in public speaking.
Well, just because you got an A in public speaking doesn't mean you're talking loud here in the press box tonight into my microphone.
Fair enough.
So
Fair enough.
we got to get you closer. We got me behind. This time, a slider misses outside. It's 2 balls, no strikes. I've been getting a lot better with
Yes.
identifying pitches.
I've noticed that.
Oh, what? So was I misidentifying some of your pitches early in the season?
A couple. Actually, the one that you guys tweeted out was a changeup, and you said curveball.
That's fair.
But
I'm bad. That's the one
it.
one I'm bad at, especially if there's no. Karras Park is the only ballpark we've played at here this season that has a radar gun. The 2-1 from Garcia,
Shattered.
taken in the left field on the shattered bat. That was tossed all the way to the backstop. Holy cow! But it's caught by Declan Beers. Did you see that? On his
Yeah.
follow through, I don't know if that was just him. Oh, because there it is. So the handle, it's shattered.
He
You can
kept
hear
the
it.
handle, yeah.
And the handle, he kind of like went to go toss it, and I think just the momentum sent the barrel all the way back to the backstop. Either way, 1 out off the flyout from Hayden Driggs. So have you ever thought about a career in broadcasting?
Yeah, actually, I have. So, University of North Georgia, the baseball players, we have to be in the Dahlonega campus, where the baseball field is. And unfortunately for me, I wanted to be a communications major, but that's only offered at the Gainesville campus, which is about 35, 40 minutes away from Dahlonega. So I'd have to go back and forth for class and practice and whatnot, and it's just not really feasible. So I chose to minor in criminal justice and major in political science for the time being, but definitely I've definitely always thought about, if I'm not playing the game, always being around it. And broadcasting has always drawn my eye. I definitely like doing that.
McClure charges on a ground ball and throws it over to Hoffpower for out number 2. And dating back to the second inning, that is 10 straight retired for Andrew Garcia.
Dude's a beast.
It's absolutely. And I mean, if you go back to that Wheat City game, the first win of the season for the Sunfish, 8-0 win over the Whiskey Jacks. Do you remember how many he retired straight?
16, wasn't it?
It was 16. Good memory. Good memory. Fastball misses just off the outside corner to Gage Ninnis, who struck out looking his last time up.
That is a lot of hitters in a row.
Well,
Make
and
that
here-
11.
Here's 11. If Thompson can catch this, he
Sersky.
can. 11 in a row. That's
Quick.
3 straight, 3 up, 3 down innings on the fly out to right field. It's still 9-0, and we'll return with Pete Weil on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. Jonathan Brandon will lead us off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Jonathan Brandon, Declan Beers, Jesus Licone to kick us off. But we're back with Pete Weil up here in the broadcast booth. And Pete, you have the distinction of being on this team, and you've been here since the beginning. And this is the inaugural season of the Sioux Falls Sunfish. So you get to go down in history as saying, I was an original Sunfish from the beginning.
Dang
how,
right.
How does that make you feel?
Absolutely great. Once a fish, always a fish.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah, hey, Sunfish.
Diehard fish fan.
Diehard fish fan. I'd be a little bit concerned if you rooted for someone, I don't know, like the Western Nebraska Pioneers or something.
No, not quite. We're trying to catch them. Maybe not this half, but we will next.
I think it'd be a little bit hard. We're quite a few games behind in this half, and
Maybe.
the records reset tomorrow.
Oh, is
so
it tomorrow?
It's
Okay,
tomorrow.
well,
So
yeah,
we're
a miracle.
We're currently at 14 and 17, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe you're correct.
14 and 17. Looking to try and end 15 and 17 to end the first half. Jonathan Brandon
That's respectable.
takes a breaking ball up. It's a full count now to J-Bo.
I think that's respectable for an inaugural season, 15 and 17. It's starting off 0 and 5 too.
Especially starting off 0 and 5. That's what I was about to say.
And we only started off 0 and 5 because we were
Fastball hits the inside corner to Jonathan Brandon. He goes down looking for the second time today. That's his third strikeout. Second strikeout for Hayden Silty, who returns to the mound in relief. It's Declan Beers now, who tripled and home run
in the same inning.
And now I tweeted it out in between because I'm just like, this is something that even I have to tweet out. Like, it's hard enough to hit a triple in a game.
Get through.
As he rolls over the first one, that
Double
goes
away
through
for the cycle.
right in to right field. And we'll look at that. You ever heard of a broadcaster's jinx, Pete? You ever heard of that? Because guess what?
Well,
Declan gets mad at me about it all the time. He
Okay.
blames me for
You can
ending
blame
his
me on
hitting
this one.
streak.
You can blame me
And
on
now
this
you just said that he's a double away from a cycle here in the 5th inning with his single.
Is there such thing as a bullpen jinx too? Because we've been saying it all night. Ever since he hit the home run and the triple in the same inning, we've been saying what I just said. I won't say it again, of course.
Well, I mean, it's more of a broadcaster's thing because everyone at home hears it, but Declan Beers having a heck of a night from the plate. Jesus Licon takes a pitch outside, ball 1. Well, Licon, I mean, he's 3 for 3. Jesus is 3 for 3 with
Sure is.
singles.
You want to know something? I told him to wear one pant leg down and one pant leg as a tweener, like halfway up the knee, right? So he's got one down and one halfway up, 3 for 3. Maybe he has to keep it.
I mean, you can see that right here. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. His right leg, pant leg, all the way down. His left one, you say tweener, and I think that's like just above the ankle. It almost looks like when he was putting on his shin guard, it just got caught a little bit, but I'll give it to you. Like, I'm assuming that's how he's been wearing it.
You'll see it when his shin guard's off at first, when he gets a
no,
base hit.
and I officially believe you. 3 straight pitches, 3 straight balls in to Lee Cone. But what's your favorite memory from this first half of the season? Obviously, I know you love traveling. The bus rides are probably your favorite part, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, bus rides with no air conditioning and sharing a seat, and sharing a hotel bed. That's my favorite part. 4 to a room. Good old Lasso and I.
Well, at least
All
you're with
snug.
Lasso. It's
True.
at least you're not, with someone like me who takes up half the bed.
Fair enough.
Fastball hits in again. It's now full count to Jesus.
I don't know. That might have to be a in-between innings thought. You put me on the spot here, David.
Well, what
gotta
did you
think.
expect we were going to talk about? I'm asking you questions. You're going to have to. You're the one who wanted me up here,
Yeah,
Pete.
yeah,
You should have
you're-
known what was coming.
You're right. All right. Well, I'm telling you, I have to think about that one.
No, that's good. Jesus swings on one, and that's strikeout number 2 of the inning from Silty. 3 on the day for him. And it's Will Olson with 2 away. He homered back in the 3rd inning after flying out in the 3rd again. He had 2 at, but it was Declan, Jesus, Will, and Norris. No, actually, Will was the 3rd out. There you go. See, that's that broadcaster's line again. Almost messed up again.
They hit for the cycle though, consecutively, didn't
Yeah,
they?
they did.
Yeah.
That's I brought that up on the air.
Yeah.
That's also something you don't see every day. So you don't see a triple and a home run by the same player in the same inning, let alone rarely in the same game. But then first 4 in an inning hit for the cycle between the 4 of them.
Not in a row, correct though? Yeah, it was triple, single, double homer, or homer double.
Triple, single, homer, double
Yeah.
to kick off that 3rd inning. And all of them scored. In fact, the only people who didn't score in that inning were Benito Garcia and Jonathan Brandon. We have had an inning where every single Sunfish has scored in one inning, and that was against the Wheat City Whiskey Jacks. There's a lot that has happened, and all of it has been the first time throughout
Interesting.
the season.
Of course.
And you've had a great season too. Let's pull up. You want to pull up your stats and
Not
talk
really.
about? That's okay. We won't. We won't.
Too many. I mean, you can't. Too many walks. That's all. That's my biggest gripe.
The 3-0 swung on by Will Olson. He pops it over the press box. It's presented by Keg Chicken. Order it, eat it, crave it. Keg Chicken. Pete, you've had some Keg Chicken after the game.
Certainly.
How was your experience with Keg Chicken?
I'll give it a solid 8.
8.
Is that good? Is that
8 out of 8, right?
Yeah.
Keg Chicken, great sponsor of the broadcast, fouled over the press box. That's my mistake for asking, honestly. Full count to Will Olson now. So Pete, one thing I like about you, and I can't believe I haven't brought this up yet.
Oh,
you're
boy.
definitely going to be here for the top of the 6th inning
What's
at
this
least.
gonna be?
No, one thing I like about you is it was early. I think it was early on in the season when we were in Grand Forks. Declan Beers goes off on the payoff. Will Olson skyrockets this one to the left side. That hooks out of play. It just lands now. That was one that probably touched the moon and came back. Still a 3-2 count to Olson. But I think it was in Wheat City when I first realized it. You were out in the outfield during BP
Shortstop.
catching flies, but then you were also at shortstop.
True.
And you're usually, well, now you hit the fungos. You're the one who's hitting the ground balls. But you're also, you like to be in the infield, take infield practice, and now so do a lot of our other pitchers. But you were the one who started that off. Do you do that at North Georgia too?
No. That's well, I wouldn't say a big no-no at North Georgia, but you just don't see it that often. But no, summer ball, I don't know. It's different in ways, and it's also kind of the same to college. Obviously, you're out here looking to win, and you're looking to get better, and but you're also a little more relaxed. So, yeah, it was before start up at Wheat City, my first outing this summer. I was taking grounders at short, just trying to stay loose, have fun out there, just not trying to. The worst thing you can do out on the pitcher's mound is think too much. You know, minor adjustments is all a good pitcher needs to do.
Olson flies out to Ryan Bachman at second. Declan Beers is left stranded after the only hit of the game. That's the first inning since the second inning where the Sunfish have not scored any. No runs crossed with 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. After 5 full from Karras Park, it's still 9-0 Sunfish. We'll return with Pete Weil for another inning. Might be a couple more. Who knows how long he stays? We'll see. We head to the 6th inning from Karras Park. In the top of the 6th inning, the Sunfish are leading 9-0, which is a complete 180. Well, even 360 would mean that they're still losing. But no, you just add on another 180. I can't do that quick math. Either way, the Sunfish have turned it around since last night. Andrew Garcia misses high to Ryan Bachman, who's leading it off. Garcia has retired 11 straight. We return with Pete Weil here in the inning. And Pete, you want to do a little bit of play-by-play?
Sure, why not?
I'll let you try.
I'll give it a try. Why not?
I don't. You can do it for the rest of the batter. It's 2-0, and here we go.
Well, AG's falling behind here 2-0, but I know AG well. He's going to battle back here in this count. See if he attacks with a fastball or comes with something soft. A fastball at 89, rung the tower a little bit, up and in, 3-0.
You sound so excited talking about this game, man. Come on, you gotta. The rule number one,
it's a 3-0 count.
Gotta be conversational, man. It's just like, okay, there it is. Fastball misses low.
Look, you majored in this. This is my first time on hot mic here.
You know, you're fine. But either way, the streak ends at 11.
I did my job and thought of my favorite moment since I've been here.
Here we go. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
It has nothing to do with baseball, but.
That's fine.
Lasso, Austin Oblas, and D'Lo and I went to the Badlands a few weeks ago for a camping trip on one of our off days, and that was one of the best national parks I've ever seen in my life. It was a great drive out there, rather long, but pretty still. The west side of the state's really gorgeous. We're looking to get out to the Black Hills during the All-Star break if we're all available for that. Just trying to see as much as I can because I've never been out to this part of the country before. So
That was going to be my follow-up question. What's the furthest you've traveled across the U.S.? Obviously, you're out here in South Dakota for the summer. AG behind 2-0 now to Johnny McHenry. His consecutive retired streak ends at 11 after a leadoff walk to Ryan Bachman. But what's the furthest you've traveled?
by car?
At least out here, out west, or even up north.
By car?
By car, or even flying a ground
Oh,
ball to
yeah.
Garcia, takes it
Yes,
himself
sir.
over to Hoffpower. A 6 unassisted, 3 double play. And well, who cares about the leadoff walk as Ryan Bachman is sent packing on the 6 unassisted, 3 double play.
My mom and I went to Alaska, obviously by plane, when I was 10, I think, and
Okay.
I believe that's the furthest west I've been in the United States. Furthest east, I think I've been to New York or Boston. My dad and I have been to LA, out in Southern California. Been all over the place. My dad and I, when I was in high school, would take us an annual summer trip and try to catch a game or two at a different MLB park across the stadium, trying to see all of them. I've seen about 14 or so halfway done. It's stalled a little bit now that I've been to college, but looking to get back to doing that trip because that's always fun.
An unofficial 3-up, 3-down inning after the double play forced by Johnny McHenry on a flyout to Zeph Hoffpower. The Sasquatch are still held scoreless, and Pete, you're going to join us for the bottom of the 6th inning?
Why not?
We'll return with Pete Weil after this when we return for the bottom of the 6th inning. Hayden Silty returns to the mound after relieving Sawyer Rowland at the beginning of the game. We have an on-field game where some young fans are trying to throw noodles through some holes. One of them was successful. You think you could do that? What's the furthest? Hey, let's do that. What's the furthest you think you could throw a noodle and get it through one of those holes?
Like a javelin shot?
Yeah.
15 feet. I'm confident.
15? I don't even think a noodle can be thrown 15 feet.
You doubt me.
I very much so.
You doubt
Very
me.
much
You
so.
shouldn't doubt me.
Looks like we're going to have
No.
to try this.
10 feet, maybe. 10 to 15 feet.
Norris McClure will lead us off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. He swings through a fastball for strike 1. Now, we were finishing up talking about how you and your dad take trips, or used to take trips.
Indeed.
You said, what did you say? You're up to 14 MLB stadiums?
I think that's right.
I'm at, if I'm not mistaken, I always have to recount. I'm at, I think, 11
Nice.
myself.
Making your way through it.
Making my way downtown, man. Walking fast, faces past, and I'm homebound. Had to. You know, when you hear those words, you have to.
Which was your favorite that you've been to?
Well, so completely, well, partially biased. It's Miller Park.
Go Hawks.
Now American Family Field. What'd you say? Oh,
I said
okay,
go Hawks, David.
Go
I said-
Hawks. That's right. Pete Weil from Atlanta, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Big Hawks fan. You should have been up here while I was watching it as McClure rips one down the left field line just foul.
I saw they were losing earlier. I haven't checked in.
Oh, is the game on? We're watching the Brewer game up here.
Yeah.
I have it on.
I have yet to go to that park, but I hear it's great. And
Oh,
as you
but
were saying,
PNC is one that I've been told is fantastic that you need to go.
Yes.
McClure fouls one back at us, but it hits the netting.
highly recommend PNC.
But No, well, now American Family Field, as it's called now.
In
This is-
Milwaukee?
It's the first
Oh,
year, yeah.
they changed it?
They got the name change. It was
I
this
know.
year, much to the chagrin of Wisconsin fans everywhere.
Sure.
I'm fine with it. It's one of those where it's business. There's
The umpire wasn't even.
time called. I don't know if he was talking to someone.
So that should be a no pitch, right?
It will be. It was fouled anyway.
Yeah.
Walker Bullington's out talking to Tyler Olmstead at first base. First base coach Tyler Olmstead, and Walker goes back into the dugout. I'm not sure what was happening there. Here's the 2-2. McClure fans on one for strikeout number 4 for Hayden Silty. Now we have Zeph Hoffpower, who reached on a drop third strike and scored in that third inning. Otherwise, he's flown out twice. But so American Family Field is my favorite, but it's my home ballpark. I still love it. There's so many cool things about it. The retractable roof, as Zeph takes the first pitch right up the middle
Zeph.
into center field for a base hit. His first of the game. And that's $1 off beer for fans here at Karras Park. The reverse beer batter, the anti-beer batter as we call it. Anytime he gets a hit, it's $1 off beer for the rest of the inning, and now it's Gannon Thompson.
Don't most teams do half off? Or am I exposing someone here?
I think some other teams do half off. I think it's wherever you go. Some also do half off the rest of the game, I think.
Dang.
I think Pier does that. I think the Moo might do it for the inning.
Dang. Jeez.
We don't know. But we do $1 off here for Sunfish fans.
Stingy.
Otherwise, obviously for everyone listening to us at home, they can just go to their fridge and get one.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we can't do that here, unfortunately. We're on the air,
Cheers.
we're working. But otherwise, my non-Brewers stadium that I've been to, Zeph dives back on the pickoff, I'd have to say is Busch Stadium in St. Louis.
I want to get to Busch. My mom and I were planning to go to a Cardinals game in St. Louis on the way up here. It didn't work out, unfortunately, but I've heard great things about that stadium.
I've been twice. I went a couple years ago for 4th of July weekend. My mom she asked my brother and I, she said, "Do you guys want to go to Cincinnati and St. Louis for 4th of July weekend?" And we're just like, "For what?" "Well, to catch baseball games." Yeah.
It's a rhetorical question.
And so we went to Great American Ballpark, which is very nice as well, on the
Yes,
riverfront.
it's a good point.
Went down there for a Reds game, drove to St. Louis, and on the 4th of July, we went up into the Arch.
Oh, wow.
And then the next day, we caught a Cardinals game. And actually, when we went to Cincinnati, it was Reds Brewers.
Ooh.
I've been to a lot of Brewers road games.
Have you?
I have, and it's been nice. Usually when I go on the road, I like to root for the home team just so I can get with the energy in the crowd. There's been a couple times where I can't.
Yeah.
Went to Yankee Stadium. I
Oh,
hate the
yeah,
Yankees.
no,
Can't
no.
root for them.
Philly and Detroit are the same way. Fans don't play in Philly or Detroit. You don't really want to vibe with them.
Well, see, you're a Braves fan.
Oh, easy.
Are you not a Braves fan?
I'm a Cleveland Indians fan. My dad's from Cleveland. I went up there every summer to visit my grandmother before she passed. We caught a couple games up there every summer. They have become my favorite team, especially after the Braves moved out of Turner Field, which is about 10 minutes from my house in Atlanta, about 45 minutes north to Smyrna. Traffic's crazy. I don't know. Can't go with the Braves anymore as much.
Gannon Thompson strikes out for out number 2. Zeph Hoffpower still at first. It's a 9-0 ball game for Tanner Wilson. We have Pete Weil up here in the press box talking about our favorite stadiums, talking about his time here with the Sunfish this summer. Wilson takes a fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. Okay, so you're an Indians fan. My bad for assuming.
Say that again?
I said my bad for assuming
Oh.
that you were a Braves fan.
It's acceptable.
But yeah, no. So then we went to Busch, and then I actually got to go to Busch again this year with a couple friends because I go to school in Macomb, Illinois, which is about 2 hours outside of St. Louis, 2.5 hours.
Okay.
And so a bunch of my friends are Cardinals fans, so we're just like, "You guys want to go to a baseball game?" We had a day off of school, made the trip down, got
yeah.
to see the Cardinals win, unfortunately. Of course, being a Brewers fan, as Wilson pokes one into center field for a 2-out base hit.
Tanner.
What'd you see on that at bat?
Solid piece of hitting right there. Just take it right back where it came from. I didn't see the speed. I'm guessing it was a fastball.
It was
but
85.
85, so a fastball. Just take it right back where it came from. Simple piece of hitting right there. He's a good hitter.
Look at that. We got a nice color commentator
Oh, yeah.
up here in the
Oh, yeah.
press box.
I can do color commentary. You give me that play-by-play, I stumble.
Benito Garcia. He grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up before grounding out and striking out his last 2 times. He takes fastball just off the plate. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
Look good from up here, I'm not going to lie.
A lot of them tend to. But, you know, you can't judge. We're not down there. When he looks good from up here, sometimes you see it a little bit differently down there.
Very true.
So what's your favorite ballpark that you've been to?
I like PNC a lot in Pittsburgh. It's just a beautiful skyline behind center field there. Oh, Benny.
Rips one into left field, but coming over is Surrett to make the catch. Garcia just missed that one as he hit it hard into left center field. No runs are going to score again off 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on base for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. It's 9-0 after 6. We return with the 7th inning on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. Charles McAdoo to lead it off for the Sasquatch. He takes the first pitch off the end of the bat, far down the right field line. Well, that hooked into the Sioux Falls Sunfish bullpen. We return with Pete Weil on the air. Andrew Garcia still on the mound. Another pitch fouled off by Charles McAdoo. That was pitch number 81.
Wow. That is efficiency, folks.
That's some quick math right there, right? 40 plus 30 is 70, plus 11 is 81 as a pitch. What is that? So when he gets to the 81, that's where it kind of throws me off. What was that?
It looked like a slider to me.
Slider?
I don't think AG's one to throw an 0-2 right-on-right changeup. I could be wrong, but it looked like a slider to me just by the way he threw it.
Here's the 1-2, swung on and missed.
That was also a slider.
Another slider gets Charles McAdoo, and that's strikeout number... Is that only strikeout number 4? I thought that was strikeout number 5. It's strikeout number 4 by my math. Yep, strikeout number 4 on the day. And we talked about at the top of the broadcast how Andrew Garcia has thrown 8 or more strikeouts 3 times. Well, today he's only at 4, but again, he's being efficient.
That was the changeup there. You can kind of tell by the way he pronates his arm. Oops, sorry, knocked the mic. You can kind of tell by the way he pronates his hand and arm on the pitch. He pronates hard. It's a changeup, and it has deep, like arm side dive. There it is again.
Swing and a miss. Again on that changeup that we are getting a lesson by Pete.
Changeups will, from this angle here, you'll be able to tell. For a right-handed pitcher, they'll dive arm side and down, so low and away to a lefty, while a slider will cut back toward him like that. Curveball, something like that.
76 on the radar. I'm going to call that one a curveball.
Yeah, I think it was a curveball, yeah.
So 1-2 now.
Caught the corner. That was a good pitch.
To Seth Surrett, who singled and was the one who was caught trying to go home. He grounds one into the plate. It bounces all the way to the backstop, rolled a bit.
He's got their timing all mixed up. This pitch sequence is fantastic. He went changeup. I believe the first one missed. Came back with it, got the strike. Curveball caught the outside corner. Fastball, speed him up, get him late. And fastball, I think he's going... I would go back to fastball here. Maybe.
His fastball's been working today, and he's really been attacking with the fastball today. Here's the 1-2. There's the fastball. It's grounded. One hop to Jonathan Brandon, drifting to his right. The throw over to Hoffpower.
Got him.
He's called safe.
Got him.
We have a got him by Pete Weil up here in the booth. It looked like a bang-bang to me as Seth Surrett slipped on first base. That's going to be an infield hit for him, his second hit of the day. It was a tough play for Jonathan Brandon, having to run all the way to his right. Played it off the hop, had a nice strong throw over to first, a nice grab by Seth Offpower. We thought he beat him up here, but a safe call was made. That's the first hit allowed in quite a few times as the ball gets away from Will Olson. And now Seth Surratt takes second on the pitch that got away from Will Olson in the dirt. It's 1-0. That's the first hit allowed since the second inning. 2 hits in the second inning. Only 2 walks in the first is how those guys got on.
AG is a stud, man. His work ethic's insane. His mindset's insane. It's just all around a phenomenal pitcher. He's a small guy. He's not all that intimidating on the mound, but he gets the job done, man, and he attacks. Change up there. Nice.
Change-up's fouled to the Sasquatch dugout. And now, what's the benefit? I always talk when AG's on the mound, I always talk about how quick he works. He gets the ball back, immediately gets back on the mound, and is quick on his delivery. Usually from the windup. When he's in the stretch right here, he takes a bit more time looking at it and stuff. But when he's from the windup, he gets the sign quickly and goes. What's the benefit of that?
Well, I tell you what, it benefits your teammates because your teammates start to like you when you have a great pace of play like that. Pace of play is awesome. Means we get out of here sooner, hopefully winning sooner. And it's your rhythm. So for me personally, at least, I tend to work as a faster rhythm if I'm doing well. If I'm getting quick outs on early counts, ground balls, maybe a few strikeouts here and there, I'm rolling. I want to get back up there on the rubber, and throw again. It's when it starts to get away from you a little bit. You got to learn how to slow the game down a little bit, take your time out there, refocus.
2-1 hit hard into right center field, drifting back is Wilson. It's over his head. That's going to bounce off the wall. Surratt's rounding third. The throw into Garcia, cut off. The throw over to third, a bit high to Norris McClure. An RBI triple here in the top of the 7th inning with just 1 out. It's now 9-1. Still the Sunfish, but the Spearfish Sasquatch score 1 now on the Nicky Winterstein triple. So 2 hits were allowed in the 2nd inning. Now 2 hits are allowed in the 7th, and it's Hayden Driggs who's 0 for 1 with a walk and a flyout.
Good pitch.
Curveball hits the zone for strike 1. And so one thing, I was going to bring it up. You were busy still breaking down everything, so I wasn't going to cut you off. But how about this? 7th inning, and he's still throwing 91.
Yep.
Like, that's just, I was talking about it. It was probably the 4th inning. He topped out at 92. Here's 90, right down the middle, no swing by Driggs. But how about that? Like, he's in the 7th inning, and he's still topping out at 90.
It's called grit. It's called a want. He wants it. He's got the adrenaline pumping. He's dealing. He's absolutely shoving tonight. And he wants this inning quick, get the boys back with the bats in their hand. Sword.
There's an absolute nasty curveball. Wow.
That was disgusting.
That had so much. It looked like it came in and then just came back into the zone. It was a swing and a miss, so no matter what, Driggs didn't stand a chance. That's strikeout number 5 of the game for Andrew Garcia. Most likely in his last inning of work as his pitch count's getting up there. We'll see if he can get out of it. Jacob Sanchez, who's 0 for 2, steps up.
Love to see my boy Lasso come hair on fire out of the pen. Get the last 6 maybe, or maybe the last 3. Get Baloo an inning.
Swing and a miss on a curveball low. It's no balls, 1 strike. You got a better view than I do. Is Lasso warming up in the bullpen right now?
It doesn't look like it. It looks like he's throwing with Asante as a catcher. He's always throwing down there, though. You can't keep that kid still.
91 fastball just misses low. It's a 1-1 count. 9 runs off 14 hits for the Sunfish. And when so obviously you don't like being in this position. You wouldn't want to be in this position as a pitcher, seeing that you have given up 14 hits as a team. Fastball misses high. But when you're on the mound and as a team, because you're usually coming in relief, you've seen that the team has given up 14 hits, 9 runs. What's your mindset like on the mound?
If I'm coming in as a Sasquatch reliever?
Just as say the roles were reversed. It's 9-1 Sasquatch
down, okay.
giving up 14 hits as a bullpen. This one skyrocketed. We'll get to that question in a bit.
Yeah.
Benito Garcia right behind second base, calls off everyone, makes the catch.
Minimize.
So just 1 run crosses off 2 hits on an absolute ripped triple by Nikki Winterstein. The Sasquatch are on the board, and it's stretching time from Karras Park. When we return, we'll still have Pete Weil in the booth. It's 9-1 Sunfish and stretching time from Karras Park. Speaking of pitchers who have gone long in games, Andrew Garcia has made it through 7, and Brewers starter Corbin Burns in the bottom of the 7th inning strikes out someone looking.
Dude's nasty too.
98 mile an hour right down the middle, got him looking. It's a 4-1 Brewers lead as Jonathan Brandon takes a pitch low and in from Riley Kirkpatrick. Kirkpatrick from Omaha, Nebraska, the 6'2 lefty, coming in with 19 innings pitched, a 3.31 ERA, and 8 games of relief. J-Bo swings through one. It's now 1 ball, 1 strike. And Andrew Garcia has been wheeling and dealing, styling and profiling on the mound. Do you know what that's a reference to?
Say that again.
Wheeling and dealing, styling and profiling.
I've heard it before.
Limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, son of a gun.
Okay, now you lost me.
Ric Flair, baby.
Okay.
Woo! The nature boy. You know who Ric Flair is.
I do.
Yeah.
It's not my alley. It's not.
I know. I'm the wrestling fan. I don't think there's many. Griffin Hassel. I think I've talked to him about wrestling. J-Bo rolls over one to third. Charles McAdoo fires over to first in time for out number 1. Jonathan Brandon is now 1 for 5 on the ground out. That's not something you want to be at.
No, not quite.
Declan Beers, the lefty, is now going to be facing the lefty, Kirkpatrick, and Hayden Silty came in and did the best he could after taking over for starter Sawyer Rowland. He goes 3 2/3, 7 hits, 2 runs, just 1 earned, and 5 strikeouts. Not a bad day of relief.
He did not do too bad, especially the situation that his team was in. He certainly, I guess, kept them in it, you could say. Minus that third, which wasn't even his inning anyway. So.
7 hits. I wrote down 2. I'm just like, there's no way you got 2 because there's 14 for the Sunfish as Declan Beers fouls one. It's now 1-1.
What is he, David? I think he has a single, a homer, and a triple. So
single, a homer, and a triple in today's game, and that's all what we're going to leave it at. I don't believe in broadcasting curses. Like if someone's having a perfect game or a no-hitter or something, when you get see, look at this.
My mom has.
You as a pitcher get upset when I mention the words perfect game or no-hitter, but when this man is a hit away from the cycle,
it's different.
Explain to me how that's different.
It's different. They have a whole room in the Hall of Fame for those who have thrown no-hitters in perfect games. They don't have a room for cycle hitters.
I get it's harder to throw a no-hitter and a perfect game, but it's the same exact concept. Someone has something in the works. It is a broadcaster's job to bring it up.
So that's what I did.
Yeah,
but
I
you're
know.
mad at me.
Well, now Declan Beers draws the walk, so it doesn't matter either way. I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed. No,
it's even worse, David.
No, so the thing, I'm one who it's just like there's a certain point in the game where you just have to let people know. It's like, hey, like when Griffin Hassel made his season debut,
Yeah.
I said through 4 innings he had not allowed a hit in his 5th inning of work.
See,
I didn't say he had a no-hitter or anything. It's just no one's gotten a hit.
that is factual.
It's factual, and it's allowing the fans to know what's going on.
Facts.
Now, perfect game is different. You go.
Oh, yeah.
At that point, I say you wait till about the 7th inning.
And you beat around the bush a little bit.
And
you let them figure it out. They can say
7th
it at
inning,
home.
you have 21 up, 21 down.
They can say it at home, but if you announce it to all 27 people that are here tonight.
Oh no, you never do it. You never do it over PA. You never do it over PA. That's just silly. Why would you do that?
No, you can't broadcast it.
Well, broadcast is just to the masses at home. You want to give a shout out to anyone on the air who might be listening?
Oh, I don't know who'll be listening. Oh, my mom and my dad are listening. My dad is in Athens, I believe, or maybe Decatur, Georgia. Shout out Decatur, Georgia. And my mom and stepdad are down in St. Croix. Hope you guys are having a good time. I wish I was down there too. Here comes Dylan. Let's go.
Jesus Lee Cohn grounds into a 5-4-3 double play. McAdoo, Bachman, Sanchez to end the inning, and it looks like another position player maybe coming in for Andrew Garcia. And from what we can see here, it's going to be Dylan Cricket Danielson. We'll see what he can do and talk about him when we return on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube.
Welcome back to Karras Park, where the Sunfish lead the Spearfish Sasquatch 9-1 in the top of the 8th. Dylan Cricket on to pitch. But first, Andrew Garcia's stat line, a remarkable stat line. 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run. What's the W?
Walks.
Ah, duh. I usually see double B's
It's
there, right?
usually double B's, but
Yeah.
in the scorebook it's just W for walks.
4 walks, 5 punchies. That is a hell of a stat line, folks. Once again, Andrew Garcia dealing on the bump.
Why don't you introduce yourself and myself to the
That was
fans
me,
listening?
Pete Weil, and my now co-host, I suppose, David Broadcast.
You don't know my last name, do you?
Coyer.
There you go. I wanted to see if you knew my last name. That was.
I know you.
I was just gonna, I just wanted. That was it, ladies and gentlemen. If you're at home, start clapping because Pete did an absolute job. A great job coming back. We have Dylan Cricket Danielson on the mound, another position player. This is what, position player number 4, pitching for the Sunfish in 2 days. He's behind 3-0.
You are David Broadcast in my phone, by the way.
Davey
Just-
Broadcast.
Davey
I think
Broadcast.
I'm Davey Broadcast in some other people's phones as well.
Oh, boy.
A fastball on the outside corner hits Taninis. It's 3 balls and 1 strike from Cricket Danielson, who's out of Oral Roberts University. This one is skyrocketed to center field. Tanner Wilson first going to his right, now trotting in a bit to his left, makes the catch for out number 1. And Dylan Cricket Danielson, in his first batter faced as a Sunfish pitcher, gets him down on the flyout.
He has a 0 ERA, David.
Yes, he does, through a 3rd inning pitch.
Sure does.
An F8. Yeah, so that is the weird thing, is you do have the W right here. I mean, you can see when I mark it as BB.
Of course.
Base on balls, obviously, that's how you score it.
I see a W as a win. When I see a W in a baseball scorebook, that's a win. So I thought you meant.
No, see, because winning pitcher's up here.
Okay, I see WP too. Yeah.
I mean, I get your confusion. I get your confusion. 1 ball, no strikes now to Ryan Bachman. He's walked twice before being. Well, he hasn't reached second base yet. The first time he was caught stealing. The second time he was out number 1 of the 6-3 double play. He takes a strike from Dylan Cricket Danielson. It's a 1-1 count. So at this point, you're here in the 8th inning. Do you want to just stay for the rest of the game, or are you going to leave us at some point?
Well, yeah, I might as well just stay for the whole game. Why not?
It's up to you.
Why not?
It seems like the Sunfish have been doing pretty well since you've been up here.
That is very true. Although I was down in the bullpen for the 8-run inning, but AG, of course, is dealing since I've been up here. I don't think it matters where I am for AG.
Here's the 2-1. This is drilled high to left center. Declan Beers calling off Tanner Wilson. He makes the catch in time for out number 2. That was another one. Now, what do you see? Obviously, you're a pitcher, but you know how the mind of a batter has to work. You have to work opposite of them. What did you see on that swing and that approach?
Well, if I was a hitter, I've only seen fastballs out of Cricket here off the bump. I get it. He's a position guy. But if I'm a hitter, I'm hunting fastball there. I think he just got a bit under it. Tried to take a swing for the fences in a 9-1 game. I don't know if I'd recommend that. I don't know if that's what he was trying to do. But that's what I gathered from that. A little can of corn action and left, though.
Well, I know Kenneth Dutka yesterday. I was talking to him today on the...
Kenny Freestats, you mean?
Kenny Freestats, is that what we're calling him now? On his Grand Slam, he was telling me that was his 2nd time going up against that position player.
Oh, what was that? A little changeup? Something 70.
I'd say changeup.
Knuckleball, maybe? He kind of pushed it.
That didn't have much break on it. It went down to 70. I mean, that's about 10 miles an hour drop. This time a fastball brushes back Johnny McHenry a bit. McHenry's ahead 2-1. So now it's fun breaking down these pitches, because from up here when Dane was pitching, we talked about how it kind of cut off at the end. It broke a little bit on his fastball, which was more of a cutter. But, I couldn't see that all too well from up here. I just heard it was nasty. As this one's ripped down the line in right field, that's going to fall for a base hit. Roll all the way to the wall. McHenry on his way to second. He's going to pull up there on the 2-out double off of Dylan Cricket Danielson. So Cricket is no longer perfect. He no longer has the no-hitter.
No 0-0 whip either.
Yeah, the whip is out the window. Still has the 0 ERA, though.
Certainly.
Can brag about that.
Well, Dane's cutter is gross. I love Dane to death, and he was showing me in Pier one afternoon before a game his cutter. It was the oddest explanation I've ever experienced, but it was nasty still. He told me to cut with my thumb and pronate with my middle finger on the ball. It was something very odd. It worked for him. I couldn't figure it out, but it is gross.
Fastball misses in to Ben Parker. Cricket Danielson out of the stretch now. He's got the high pants with the teal socks, and I do like his socks. He's the only one with colored socks on the team. He's got the teal ones and the orange ones.
Where are the team issued ones?
That's a good question.
Is that a question for Nick?
That's more of a question for Nick, or even to the man to your left, Zach Campbell, who's working the camera again tonight, doing a great job.
Zach, where are the team issued socks, man?
The gray ones.
Fastball misses high. It's 3-0 now to Ben Parker, who only reached on a walk in the first inning. Otherwise, he's flew out his last 2 times. He was always out number 3 in the 3rd and 6th inning of those 3 up, 3 downs from Andrew Garcia. The 3-0 is a fastball high, and the 2-out walk puts 2 runners on. Still 9-1 Sunfish here in the top of the 8th inning. And you and I Pete, both know what happens if one run crosses and that's the final score.
We definitely don't say anything about that. That is one thing that we do not want to jinx.
The last time I
promise
did
you,
bring it
folks.
up,
I promise you.
we got a text from Walker Bullington's wife, Sam, when it was in play. And then right after it, I brought it up on the broadcast, made the mistake of bringing it up on the broadcast, and we got rid of it. All we're saying is we're hoping there might be a 9-2 ball game, and well, after the game, you'll find out why. If you're an avid fan of Sioux Falls Sunfish social media, you already know why.
Oh, have you mentioned it before? Oh, okay.
Well, on social media, we've kind of built up the story as to why. Is a strike
right.
is thrown to Charles McAdoo, who's 0 for 3 today.
The anticipation is growing.
Here's the 0-1, ripped down the left field line. That's going to be a base hit. One run's going to score as McHenry scores from second. The run's being rolled around. Garcia with the relay. Oh, we brought it up, and there it goes.
Where's this we? What's this we here?
I brought it up. I got to stop doing that. It's now 9-3. We can't see the celebration from the Sunfish dugout, but you know darn well that pitching coach and first base coach Tyler Olmstead is absolutely going bananas in that dugout. It's now 9-3 Sunfish. For those of you fans who don't know, Tyler Olmstead will do the post-game interview on the Sioux Falls Sunfish social media if it's a 9-2 ball game. He refuses it to do it any other way.
I heard he was shirtless as well, no?
19-2. 9-2 is when he does the post game. 19-2 is when he does the post game shirtless.
Interesting. Okay.
So 2 runs crossed. That's my bad for bringing it up again. This time a ground ball to Zeph Hoffpower. A nasty hop gets by him. Runners coming around third. That's going to be another one in this 3-run 8th inning, and the Spearfish Sasquatch are slowly coming back. It's now 9-4.
That took a wicked hop.
That took an absolute nasty hop over there at first. We'll see what the official scoring of that is going to be. It's got to be an infield hit, as that was nothing.
There was nothing
in Zap's control. There's no error up on the scoreboard. There's the hit. It's the 7th hit of the ball game for the Sasquatch.
You don't see that often on artificial turf either.
Especially because we've been over there. Both of us have walked over by first base. The pitch from Cricket.
Balls at first base, Davey.
Yeah, you take ground balls over there, and there's not like a lip over there or anything. No. It must have just been the spin on the ball.
Something.
Fastball misses away to Nicky Winterstein, who put the Sasquatch on the board with an RBI triple last inning. Swings through a 79-mile-an-hour fastball from Dylan Cricket Danielson. It's 1-1.
A little cut to it.
Now, does that just happen?
Yeah.
From non-pitchers naturally, where it's just the way they throw it?
That just happens from a position player throwing like a position player on the mound.
So if I threw a fastball, it would probably cut a bit?
Yeah, it just depends on how naturally your arm moves. If you pronate well, and you'll have a good run. And then if you're getting around the ball, you'll cut it. Either is fine. Movement is always good. I've always said I'd rather throw 88 with movement than 95 and flat as a board. Much easier to hit.
So now I've been promised by Walker Bullington and general manager Nick Mullen that here's the 2-1 from Cricket, fouled off of our press box. Usually we say over. That time it went off. And it's now a 2-2 ball game. Not 2-2 ball game, 2-2
Whoa,
count. There you go. Sometimes I get ahead of myself. But I've been promised an at-bat.
You have?
I've been promised an at-bat.
Oh, yes.
Throughout this season. I get a temp contract. I'll be promised an at-bat. We don't know when.
I'd pay to see that.
But now I think I'd be more efficient as a pitcher. Now I'm only topping out at like 65, 66, maybe.
I can do it.
Here's the 2-2, foul to the back netting. But you've seen me take swings. If I take an at-bat, it's going to be 3 pitches and 3 strikes, even if I'm looking at one.
More than likely, yeah. I hate to break it to you.
No,
well, not to break it to you, even but
I know, and especially if we get
I'm
a
an
guy.
honest man.
I mean, even if we have a position player out there. I mean, last night both Norris and Dane topped out at 88.
They sure did.
Dylan Cricket Danielson here has gotten up to I think 82 at least once.
83, I think.
There's 81. It's swing and a miss. Gets Winterstein down on strikes, but even with that, my swing's so slow that I'm going to get behind it.
Yeah, you just might.
Like it's not. I don't know. Anyway, 3 runs crossed there in the 8th inning. 1, 2, 3 hits, no errors. One left on base for the Sasquatch. It's now a 9-4 ball game as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning from Karras Park. Riley Kirkpatrick's night is done after just one inning. And through that one inning, he didn't allow a hit or a run. He did walk one, but Declan Beers was the out number one of the double play from Jesus Licon. So it was an unofficial 3-up, 3-down inning. We're back with Pete Weil. Pete, you've been here since, what, the bottom of the 4th inning?
Yep.
And look at that. So bottom of the 4th inning, 1 run crossed for the Sunfish. And it wasn't until the 7th when another run would cross, and then the top of the 8th inning.
Yeah, we have been outscored since I've been up here, technically, yes, but
Will Olson
that
takes.
was a good pitch.
What is it? The slider, right?
Yes, that was
yeah.
a
See,
slider.
you got to look at the motion, and
Yeah.
I'm learning. I'm getting it.
You're
That's
getting
what
it,
I.
baby. You're
That
getting
is what I came into
You're
this. I came into this season knowing that was going to be something that I needed to work on,
I
and
mean, you know baseball,
I know baseball. It's always just been pitch identification that's
Right.
been tough for me.
and they move pretty quick.
It's Zachary Creeth who takes another slider outside, or throws another slider outside. It's Will Olson who takes it. Olson is homered in today's game and walked. Otherwise, he's flown out his last 2 times up. It's a 1-1 from Creeth, who the Sunfish have seen already this series. He pitched on Friday in relief. Or not Friday. Wow, I'm thinking back to the Hastings series. It's Tuesday. It's the middle of the week. Days just...
It's not Tuesday.
Tuesday is when he pitched last. It's Thursday today.
Yes.
Tuesday is when he pitched last. He went 1 2/3 innings, allowed 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. He was on the mound when the Sasquatch scored the 2 runs in the top of the 9th, so he did get the win. Here's the 2-1 to Will Olson, who rips this hard into left field. That's going to bounce up against the wall. Olson is rounding first, heading to second. The throw-in from Surratt is not going to be cut off, and Will Olson gets a double. His first base hit since the 3rd inning, and he leads off this 8th inning with a 2-bagger.
Will Olson does nothing but hit baseballs very hard. Very, very, very hard. Every time.
The thing I like about Will is just his eyes at the plate. He swings at good pitches. He doesn't really swing at anything that's really too low. He might take a couple ones that are high.
Very selective.
Inside, outside, he's not too much unless it's something that he wants. And, well, when he makes contact, man, we were talking about Tanner Wilson. Man, Will just absolutely crushes it.
Yes.
Norris McClure takes one outside. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
I'd say those two and Adonis Forte are probably our loudest bats. The ball just comes off hot off their bats. every time.
Absolutely, and Adonis has been having some nice extra base hits as of recent.
Yeah, he's a hell of a ball player.
Would you look at that? Corbin Burns is still on the mound in the bottom of the 8th inning. There is a mound visit. Looks like he might be hurt. A ground ball that's brought down by Johnny McHenry. It rolls over to Ryan Bachman, who can't make the throw.
That ball was hit hard, too.
It was a nice hard hit ball off the bat of Norris McClure. It was knocked down by Johnny McHenry just behind second base, so he kept it in, prevented Will Olson from scoring. I know that's a tough hit. You give that an infield base hit, you'd think. We're going to go to the official scoring on Point Streak. It takes a couple seconds. Don't worry. Well, actually, look, it says 16 on the scoreboard, so I'm going to say Point Streak will say it was a hit in just a few seconds.
I'd give that a hit.
Because the Sunfish were at 14.
Well, I don't know.
Now they're at 16. There it is. A single. Runners at the corners, no outs for Zeph off power. Zeph singled and reached on a drop third strike his 2 times on base.
Oh.
Takes this one high and deep to center field. Going back is Parker. He's about 1.5 feet in front of the warning track. That's deep enough for Will Olson to score from third. A sac fly by Zeph makes it a 6-run ball game, 10-4 Sunfish.
Ball was touched, too, man. A lot of barrels off this kid.
Which is actually kind of a little off because
the opposite, right?
Zach Creeth has one of the lowest ERAs in the Expedition League, a 1.9.
Wow.
For
How
pitchers who qualify through 12 games.
How many innings is that? 23?
23 and 2/3. Well, now 24
He's got a really
off
good
the
breaking
fly
ball.
out. That was a nice, that had some nice on it. What, the slider?
Yeah.
Again? Yeah. You know, it's some of those where it's got some of the weird movements. Like that kind of went across and down a bit, which I know sliders do.
Yep.
But,
Yep.
man, that
It's
is
also it's easier with a starter than it is a reliever, but once you start seeing him throw enough innings, you'll start to gauge, like, okay, the fastball is like, yikes, the fastball is like, I don't know, like 80 to 84, and then the slider is like 72 to 73.
That's usually how I get it too.
Yeah.
And you say yikes because, well, that slider got Gannon Thompson with a bit of a half swing.
Yeah, that was a good pitch.
Made him chase outside. That's one thing that I've noticed that Sunfish hitters have struggled with is the breaking stuff. If you were, this might be a little fun. If you were an opposing pitcher pitching against us, what's your approach to one of our hitters?
I'm calling one person out here.
Not even one person,
Oh.
just overall.
Overall?
You've seen the Sunfish hit many games, and just overall, what's your approach for just?
Well, first I'd put runners on second and third because we love to leave them out there.
No, you got to go bases loaded.
Okay,
Got to go bases loaded.
Bases loaded. And then, I mean, we get really aggressive in those spots, so I'm not looking to give any cookie to anybody. So painting the corners or missing down, and getting them to chop a ball into the dirt. Low sliders, low changeups, and then maybe brush them back with inside fastballs.
Okay.
But tonight, and the last few games, we scored 14 runs last night. We lost, but we scored 14 runs. We've been hitting the ball well lately. Fremont was an exceptional game.
Fremont was the highest scoring game for the Sunfish as the slider gets Gannon Thompson looking. He doesn't seem to be, I think he's a little upset because some of the pitches might have been a little on the corners, maybe on the edge of the zone. He's not too happy with it, but it had a couple words with Tanner Wilson just to be what's he throwing, and well, up here we can clearly see it's
sharp slider and a pretty good fastball.
Yep. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Sunfish have already scored 1. Norris McClure is over at first as Tanner Wilson takes a fastball just on the edge of the plate for strike 1.
I think he's got some run to it too. You got one fastball that's running hard in on their hands, and then you got the nice slider that looks like a fastball out of the hand but cuts away from him, low and away. It's a good combo. It's a very good combo.
The Sunfish lead by 6. They had allowed 4 unanswered runs, the first 4 runs of the ball game for the Sasquatch in the 7th and 8th. Tanner Wilson grounds one to the right side. That might get through. It doesn't. Bachman fires over to first. Not in time. A tough play for Bachman. It was a slow roller to the deep right part of the infield. He was playing a bit closer to second, ready for that ball up the middle to quickly toss it to second. Had to drift far to his left.
Pitcher did his job there. He got the weak contact. It was a good sequence again, like I was just saying. Fastball, it ran back out over the outer half of the plate, started out, came back over the corner, and then slider that started at him and came back, or went away from him, got the weak contact.
Benito Garcia, who has not gotten a hit today, comes up with 2 outs, 2 runners on. Takes the first pitch, grounder to the left side, played off the hop by McAdoo, flyers it over to first in time for out number 3. The Sunfish put up 1 more off 3 hits, no errors, 2 left on base. It's a 6-run ball game. The Sunfish have that cushion. We'll see what they can do with it in the top of the 9th inning when we return on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. Back here for the top of the 9th inning on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. David Coyer, and, well, if he ends up leaving baseball at any point, he'd be a great broadcasting partner, Pete Weil, who's been joining us.
If you say so.
JT Mix, that's right, JT Mix, who's throwing an 83-mile-an-hour fastball on the mound.
Getting ahead, too.
Is relieving Dylan Cricket Danielson. His first batter is Hayden Driggs. And, well, we've seen a lot of position players as that breaking ball was a bit nasty, but a bit too nasty as it bounces just over the plate. It's a 1-1 count.
17 hits by the Sunfish tonight.
Is that good?
It's not easy. No, it's very good.
17 hits is good?
I think so. By my math.
By your math. Okay, 17 hits compared to the 7 for the Sasquatch. Many of those coming last inning. A fastball misses low as JT looked like he held on to that one just a bit too long, was looking just to throw it hard. 3 balls, 1 strike as JT throwing to his Augustana teammate Will Olson, which is pretty cool. I didn't even know, like, in complete honesty, I didn't even know JT pitched.
I don't think he does.
Here's a 3-1 foul to the backstop. That's the cool thing about the last couple days.
It's the cool thing about summer ball.
I knew Gannon pitched.
Yes.
Because he was recruited to Michigan State as a pitcher.
Dane also pitched as well, I believe.
Which, that's the thing. I didn't know Dane pitched. Hadn't really talked to him. I talked to him a bit in the dugout. Here's the payoff from JT. Misses low and in. A leadoff walk issued by JT Mix.
Got Lasso in the bullpen, too, if things get hairy here. But
it'll be Jacob Sanchez now up. But so I didn't know Dane pitched, and Dane was nasty on the mound yesterday, absolutely shoving. Norris, I had kind of talked to him, I think, before that he had kind of pitched, and in my research, I think I had known that he had maybe pitched, and when I kind of just pulled up Google, a grounder to Norris at third, turns it over to Jonathan Brandon over to first.
I was just about to call that. Folks, that's 2 outs. I'm going to head down so I can shake hands with the boys. It was a pleasure, David.
Pete,
thank you for having me on.
Thanks for joining me.
Absolutely.
Well, we got 2 outs quickly as JT walks the first aboard and then issues the 5-4-3 double play. Pete Weil joining me on today's broadcast. Usually a relief pitcher for the Sioux Falls Sunfish, taking the night off to join me up here in the broadcasting booth. We appreciate Pete on the air here. He's staying in the doorway just to make sure I don't say anything bad. I'm not going to. Have fun, Pete. 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning. The Sunfish 1 out away from taking this one. A curveball misses in from JT Mix. Thanks for joining us tonight on the Sioux Falls Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. I hope you've enjoyed Pete Weil, as this one is taken high and deep off the hand of JT Mix. It looked like he waved goodbye to that one, and that's just off the wall. Declan Beers will run in. A little double clutch before throwing it into Benito Garcia. It looked like JT Mix almost waved at that one, was ready for that one to leave the ballpark. It was pretty close to, as he left a fastball over the plate for Gage Ninnis, who takes it off the wall for a 2-out double. We're back to the top of the order. Ryan Bachman, who flew out of the hand of Dylan Cricket Danielson. The second position player of the night on the mound for the Sioux Falls Sunfish. Yesterday they had, 3. Gannon Thompson is kind of a pitcher. He's more of a two-way player. He just got his first appearance last night. Fastball misses low. Norris McClure and Dane Frazier, however, both position players. Norris was talking to me. He felt so good on the mound last night, going 6 up, 6 down. He almost wants to try and work on becoming a two-way. Breaking ball misses in to Bachman. 4 runs off 8 hits, 1 error for the Spearfish Sasquatch. Again, completely different from last night's 19, 20, and 1. Fastball misses low. It's 3-0 to Bachman. And 10 runs off 17 hits for Sioux Falls. They scored 9 in the 3rd and 4th inning. A big 8 up in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th. Fastball right at the knees makes it a 3-1 count. They were held scoreless in the 5th, 6th, and 7th before putting one across in the bottom of the 8th inning to make it 10. JT, again, just looking like he's overthrowing a little bit, throws a fastball in the dirt. Now there's 2 runners on with 2 outs. The second walk issued in the inning by JT. Hayden Driggs was doubled up on the 5-4-3 off the bat of Jacob Sanchez, and now the lefty, Johnny McHenry, who doubled and scored in the 8th. First run scored of the game was Seth Surratt in the 7th. McHenry was one of 2 that crossed on the triple by Charles McAdoo. Ball misses away. Here's the 1-0. Fastball just missing the outside corner. That one almost sails over JT's head on the throwback from Olsen. Dylan Cricket Danielson in 1 inning pitched allowed 3 runs off 3 hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Not too bad for a position player who hasn't pitched in a while. This fastball is lined into the Spearfish dugout. A couple guys had to dance out of the way. And by dance, I mean run for their lives. In the top of the 9th inning from Pittsburgh, it's the Milwaukee Brewers 4, the Pittsburgh Pirates 1, with a runner on first, 1 out. Here's the 2-1 here from Karras. A fastball again, just missing off the plate. And at this point, we're in the top of the 9th inning. It's a 6-run ball game. You got a position player on the mound. I think you can expand the zone just a little bit maybe. Here's the 3-1. That one is far into the right-handed batter's box. And JT Mix has now walked the bases loaded. Ben Parker, who walked and scored in the 8th. He's only walked twice, so he's 0 for 2 today after 2 flyouts in the 3rd and 6th. Andrew Garcia did what Andrew Garcia does. 7 innings pitched, allowed 1 run off just 4 hits, walked 4, struck out 5. The only inning where it was a bit of a concern was the second, where he allowed the first 3 on with 2 hits and a walk before forcing a line out and a strikeout, and then Seth Surratt tried swiping home and was caught on the base paths. So no runs crossed in that second inning. It wasn't until the 7th when a single and a triple by Seth Surratt and Nicky Winterstein put the Sasquatch on the board, and that was all she wrote for Andrew Garcia. Between the 2nd and 7th innings, only 4 hits allowed, and both just in the 2nd and 7th. 2 balls missed low and away. It's 2 balls, no strikes to Ben Parker. Again, Pete Weil said it before he left. Jacob Lassier looks like he's warming up in the pen, but JT has already gotten 2 outs. Might as well try and go the whole way. Fastball misses just low. Get a bit of a groan from this Sunfish team. Or not Sunfish team, Sunfish crowd, excuse me. Here's the 3-0. This time a pitch misses low, and JT Mix walks in a run. Gage Ninnis with 2 outs doubled. JT Mix has now walked 3 straight, and that looks like it's going to be all she wrote for JT. So Walker Bullington is going to be quick that they don't let the lead get out of hand. JT smiling a bit. I think he's going to be a tad bit frustrated when I get down there to talk to him. He wanted to probably get all 3 outs. It's going to be Jacob Lassier with 1 out, or 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning, coming in to try and get that 3rd one. 5-run ball game. After 1 has crossed here in the 9th, 3 crossed in the 8th, 1 crossed in the 7th. 3 straight innings of Sasquatch scoring, 2 of which coming off of position players. But now a PO coming back in the form of Jacob Lassier out of North Georgia. His teammate Pete Weil was on the air with us for today's ball game. Again, thank you to Pete. If you were satisfied with Pete's color commentary services, make sure you let us know. DM us on Twitter or Instagram. Text myself if you have my number. A few of you do. Otherwise, tweet at David Coyer or at SF Sunfish. Let us know what you thought of tonight's broadcast with Pete Weil. Jacob Lassier warming up. He had been throwing stuff in the pen. He's got a bit of a sidearm delivering from the mound. But it's a 10-5 Sunfish lead. 17 hits, no errors for the Sunfish. 8 hits, 1 error. The person who got on with that error was Tanner Wilson. It was a throwing error all the way back in that 3rd inning in which 8 Sunfish crossed. And, well, not 8 different Sunfish. Norris McClure, well, he scored in the 4th. It was actually Declan Beers who scored twice. Declan will just be a double shy of the cycle unless things get out of hand this inning, in which the Sasquatch come and tie it back up and we're forced to go to the bottom of the 9th. Otherwise, he'll be a double shy of that cycle. He got the 2 hardest in the same inning, a triple and a home run. And in fact, in that inning, it was the first 4 who hit for the cycle themselves. Well, just between the 4 of them. Declan Beers led off with a triple, followed by a single by Jesus Licone. The first pitch from Jacob Lassier almost hits Charles McAdoo. He's brushed back. So Beers tripled. Licone singled. This time a fastball is back to the netting. Will Olson hit a home run, and then it was Norris McClure who doubled right after that homer, and that completed the cycle between the first 4 in that 3rd inning. 1 ball, 1 strike out of the Keg Chicken foul ball. Order it, eat it, crave it. This time, pitch is blown by Charles McAdoo, and it's a 1 ball, 2 strike count here with 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning. The pitch is popped up, drifting back, and Will Olson can't even make a play on it. It's out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch from Lassier is in the dirt, blocked in front of Will Olson. It's now an even count at 2 apiece. The Sunfish host the Pier Trappers tomorrow night. 6:35 first pitch. A final home game against the Trappers to kick off the second half of this Expedition League season. The 2-2 again low, bounces in front of Olson, and the runners will be off on the pitch. After the 1-game home series, they travel to Pier for the weekend, this 4th of July weekend. 2 games on the road. Runners go. This one skyrocketed. Left side, Norris McClure running back. Benito Garcia coming over in foul territory. Makes the catch, and the Sunfish win it. Final time, 9:25, just under the 3-hour mark. 2 hours and 47 minutes, your final time, and the final score on this Thursday night in the conclusion of the 3-game series, the Spearfish Sasquatch. 5 runs of 8 hits, 1 error, and 8 left on base. The Sioux Falls Sunfish, 10 runs off 17 hits, no errors, 11 left on base. Your winning pitcher, who else but the big man, Andrew Garcia. He went 7 innings of 4 hit, 1 run, 4 walk, and 5 strikeout baseball. The losing pitcher will be Hayden Silty, who went 3 2/3, allowed 7 hits, 2 runs, only 1 of them was earned, 5 strikeouts. Silty gets the loss in this one. Again, final time, 2 hours and 47 minutes. The Sunfish bats were hot, especially in that 8th inning. In the 8th inning, they went 8 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, 1 left on base. Declan Beers was just a double shy of the cycle. He hit a triple and a home run in the 3rd, had a single in the 5th, walked in the 7th, and didn't get another at-bat as Benito Garcia was the one who ended the 8th inning. The Sunfish absolutely rout this Spearfish Sasquatch. The bats came alive tonight. 10 runs off 17 hits for Sioux Falls. A pair of home runs. Declan Beers gets his first and his first triple, while Will Olson gets his 4th home run of the season. The Sunfish were running all over them, as Olson also had a double himself. He was just a triple and a single shy of the cycle. To end the first half of the Expedition League season and the inaugural 2021 Sioux Falls Sunfish season, the Sunfish will end at 15 and 17, while the Spearfish Sasquatch end the first half 20 and 10. The second half of the Expedition League season begins tomorrow. The records will reset, and we'll see if the Sunfish can start a campaign on their way to a second half division championship and a spot in the 2021 Expedition League playoffs. Again, the Sunfish host the Pier Trappers here from Karras Park in a 1-game series. Myself and hopefully Tyler Katz, the Trappers broadcaster, will be on the air tomorrow on the Sunfish Radio Network and the Sunfish live stream on YouTube. First pitch will be 6:35. Once more from Karras Park in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, the Sasquatch fall to the Sunfish. Spearfish went 5 runs off 8 hits, 1 error, 8 left on base, while the Sioux Falls Sunfish behind Andrew Garcia scored 10 runs off 17 hits, no errors, with 11 left on base. For everyone in the Sioux Falls Sunfish organization, I'm David Coyer. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen, and